And welcome to tonight's installment of the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. The Montgomery Sports Network is your destination in the River Region of Alabama for the best in high school sports coverage. From live broadcast of full games to on-demand replays to game highlights, it's all right here on the Montgomery Sports Network. As tonight, we are here on the east side of Prattville as Prattville Christian will play host to JU Blacksher. Before we start off tonight's keys of the game, we'll get a few words from our sponsors, which we'll be bringing to you tonight. My name is Kane Young. I'm here with Travis Jerome. Travis, good to have you back here for week number 2 of high school football.
It's good to be back, and actually, good to be back where we can actually get a game started on time and be able to enjoy a game not knowing where the weather's going to come in.
Yeah, last week, if you weren't with us, a lot of games in the Montgomery area delayed 2.5 hours. Ours was delayed about 15 minutes. We had lightning all in the background near us down at Montgomery Catholic, but we got our game in and finished about 9:15, 9:20 last Friday night, where the Knights end up defeating Towsey in week 1. So our sponsors here on the Montgomery Sports Network, will start off with our title sponsor, Extermatech Pest Control, locally owned and operated. Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team voted best in Montgomery. If you have bugs bugging you, call Extermatech. They have been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Call 334-209-4590. We'd also like to thank the attorney, Matt Matthews, of ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com. Workers' compensation attorney Matt Matthews has many years of experience litigating workers' compensation cases in Alabama. If you are hurt on the job, he can help you get the benefits you deserve. Visit ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com or call 334-721-4878. We'd like to thank our newest sponsor here on the Montgomery Sports Network, Mission Fitness and Performance, Parisi Speed School of Montgomery. Athletes and coaching staff, if you want your team to train with the best sports performance program in the area, talk to Mission Fitness and Performance, home of the only Parisi Speed School in Alabama. Find out why Parisi Speed School has been the industry leader in sports performance training for 27 years. Located right here in the River Region, call Mission Fitness and Performance at 334-318-3639. Visit missionfitness.com. We'd also like to thank the Hank Williams Museum, located in downtown Montgomery at 118 Commerce Street. You can take a step back in time and learn about the musical history and life of a Montgomery man who is known as the legendary singer and songwriter Hank Williams. Browse the large gift shop. Groups are always welcomed at the Hank Williams Museum. We'd also like to thank Chris's Hot Dogs for their sponsorship, celebrating 102 years in business in the capital city. Chris's is located just steps from the state capitol at 138 Dexter Avenue. Chris's Caters. Have hot dogs at your next meeting or event. Chris's famous hot dogs taste the tradition. Call orders in advance, 334-265-6850. And here's Travis with the rest of our sponsors.
We'd like to thank Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks, a local owned and operated business. They've been in business since 1985 and serve Montgomery and the surrounding counties. Mid-State builds and installs burglar bars, AC guards, hand railings, fencing, storm doors, and more. Make sure to check out the decorative handrails, a true work of art. Call Mid-State 334-313-9015. La Zona Rosa Mexican Cafe, located at 2838 Zelda Road. Minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. Check out their great build, your own lunch and dinner selections, and updated menus. Make La Zona Rosa your choice for authentic Tex-Mex and Salvadorian cuisine. Open Monday through Saturday. Call 334-274-1153. Delta Printing and Sign Company. Opened in 1979 and is still local and family-owned as a second-generation business. They have stayed true to their roots. They get to know their customers and take pride in helping meet their printing needs and stay within their budget. Their goal is the same now as it was when they first opened, to provide a quality product at a competitive price, accompanied with exceptional customer service. So remember, no matter what it is, when you need signs, printing, direct mail, let Delta do it. Call 334-271-COPY. And our media partner, the stations of Blue Water Broadcasting, News Talk 93.1, Kiss FM 97.9, Jams, Bama Country 98.9, Yo 100.5, Classic Country The Possum 104.9, The Gump, and 107.1 The Vault. They are local folks helping local business. Call them today and let them help your business. 332-244-0961.
And we also like to thank one other sponsor, Mac the Camera Guy. Visit MacTheCameraGuy.com for all your photo booth needs for proms, weddings, corporate events. MacTheCameraGuy.com for those needs. We thank all our sponsors here on the Montgomery Sports Network. We couldn't do it without them. Please help support them and tell them we sent you to see them. out and about in the River region. So we're just about 22 minutes or so from kickoff here, week number 2. Prattville Christian playing host to JU Blacksher. We'd like to thank the principal of PCA, Ron Mitchell, and the athletic director, Tara Osborne, for having us out here this evening. We came out here last year. We actually were at PCA for week 11, and they actually defeated Horseshoe Bend 47-0 here on what ended up being their senior night. This will be the actual first real game of the season for Prattville Christian, as last week they had a jamboree against Isabel. And meanwhile, JU Blacksher comes in here with a record of 1-0 with a victory over McIntosh last week.
And it's still early in the year. JU Blacksher played a McIntosh squad that's been down for quite a while. Prattville Christian really doesn't know what they've got. First-year coach, we'll talk about that later in the broadcast when they get to the keys. But this is, this kind of sets the tone for both of these teams. If Prattville Christian can come out behind their new coaching staff and move the football down the field and do some things defensively, JU Blacksher now has to prove themselves against a PCA team that they know nothing about, because, again, you don't have any film on a team that has a brand-new coaching staff.
And for Prattville Christian, we're located here just along I-65. Those who travel through Montgomery probably have seen the school right along the interstate here. So we're on the east side, right on the Autauga County, Elmore County border here on the east side of Prattville. Good weather, cooled down a little bit. The humidity not as bad as it was a few weeks ago, but we are staring dead into the sun here until it goes down behind the school off to our west as we're facing out to the west here from our press box location. So we'll get into our keys to the game here tonight. We'll start off with the visitors from JU Blacksher. They come in here. We'll start off with offensive consistency. Last week, the Bulldogs put 65 on the board against McIntosh in their week 1 victory.
And that's one of those things. Can they maintain that going into this week? It's week 2. It's still early in the year, but you put 65 on the board in week 1. People expect you to do that each and every week, especially if you do it in game 1. Now the question is, can they continue to do that here in week 2?
And the second key for tonight for the Bulldogs will be not to look ahead. This will be the last tune-up for the Bulldogs before they hit region play when they travel to Cottage Hill Christian Academy next weekend. 3
straight region games. Again, you go back to that first game. Do you really need to stay consistent? You don't want to have a letdown going into region play. You score 65 in week 1 and then you get shut out, or you lose in week 2 and you don't have that same punch that you had in week 1.
And the third key tonight for the Bulldogs will be heat fatigue. As we mentioned just a moment ago, the weather vastly different than we had last week with the rain and the cooling of temperatures there right before kickoff. Humidity not as bad, a little bit of breeze, not much, but we've been in the 90s most of the afternoon here without any cloud cover, and they're making the 2.5-hour bus ride up here to Prattville this evening.
Long bus ride, the numbers aren't big as far as how many players you have on the sidelines, so that's going to play a part in it. How long can they go, and how long do you try to push, and do you just control the clock and try to preserve your players as much as possible, especially playing both sides of the football?
Now, a lot of players on these teams will go both ways, something we see here at the smaller school level more so than the 5A, 6A, 7A level. So we'll turn to the home team, the homestanding Panthers of Prattville Christian Academy. Look at their keys of the game. First key tonight for the homestanding Panthers will be first game jitters. They had the jamboree last week against Isabel, but this is the real first night under the lights here in Prattville.
First game jitters, not just for the players, coaches as well. You got new coaching staff here. They're trying to impress because of their pedigree coming in. Very well-known coaching staff, Jeremy Carter, the head coach of PCA. But, again, it's the kids that play the game. And the kids, how do they react when you've got bands on both sides, you've got fans on both sides? It's a little different atmosphere than it is at Jamboree.
Second key tonight for PCA, special teams. Really the first live action we'll see for them. Special teams, JU Blacksher obviously has that under their belt, having the week 1 contest, so a little advantage there for the Bulldogs.
Special teams are always key, especially at this level of high school football. It can make or break a game. You'll have a guy that's punting the football for teams at this level that could be an offensive lineman, could be a linebacker, could be a wide receiver. Some schools don't have the natural kicker, but that's what makes or breaks games at this level. And if you can break a punt, you can break a kickoff or block a kick, that goes a long way, especially your very first game of the year.
And the third key for PCA, we'll use the same thing we used for the Bulldogs, heat fatigue. PCA will have a lot of players going both ways. This, first live action here, going a full game with the weather being in the 90s, dip down into the low 80s here as we go towards kickoff this evening.
And again, you've got players going both ways. PCA has a little bit of advantage. Some people think it's a big advantage. They have a little bit of advantage. Their sideline is actually in the shade, but that does hinder you going on and off the field because you're going from a little cooler temperature in the shade to the heat out in the sun, and your body cramps up a whole lot. A lot different than practice. Practice, you're constantly moving. not taking very many breaks. Games are on, off, and that really breaks those muscles down.
So heading into this contest, talk about the coaches for just a minute. We'll start with the visitors. JU Blacksher Wesley Sims is in his 10th year at the school. He's made 4 playoff appearances with a region title back in 2015, but the Bulldogs have not made the playoffs each of the last 2 seasons. They are Class 2A Region 1, down towards the Mobile, Mississippi line area, in there Washington County, Chickasaw, Leroy. So they have some tough competition there to kind of crack the playoffs with an 8-team region.
You've got a Washington County school that's really a 4A, 5A power, used to be a 4A power, drops down now to 2A. So that really hinders a school like JU Blacksher, but time will tell. These kids have all grown up together. It's that one school system, so these kids all grow up together. So eventually they're going to have a breakthrough, and this could be that breakthrough year, and signs of that in week 1 with that win over McIntosh.
And for Prattville Christian Academy, they're led by new head coach Jeremy Carter. He used to be the head coach at Billingsley back in 2009, also spent some time at Autauga Academy as the head coach there, was also an assistant at Jemison up in Chilton County for a few years. 34-12 career record, but his first year he wants to get off on the right foot here with starting out at PCA.
Small school coach, he's used to this atmosphere. He's used to having guys go both ways. He really wants to get off on the right foot. They brought him in to get the program turned right and get it going in the right direction, and they can do that in the region they're in. And this is a big step toward it. It's a non-region game. It's your first week of the year. A lot of schools have already played a game, but he's had a week to sit back and get his guys ready and really focus in on what he needs to get out of his guys instead of being on the field playing in week 1.
And you kind of have that element of surprise. If I know Jeremy like I knew his brother Brian, I'd almost be positive he went and scouted that game or sent someone to go scout that game last week down in Monroe County. So he probably has a heads up as what the attack's going to be for the Bulldogs. PCA trying to make it back to the playoffs. The last time they were in the playoffs was 2017. They missed out last year. They're Class 3A Region 3, another tough region for them. They're in there at Pike Road and Montgomery Academy, St. James, Dadeville. So they have tough competition trying to crack into the playoffs in that region also.
And again, you've got 2 schools that have dropped down in St. James and Dadeville. You've got an up-and-comer in Pike Road that has absolutely come out of nowhere, but they've gotten those East Montgomery kids have moved into Pike Road. They go to school. And you got Montgomery Academy. Montgomery County's kind of fluctuated between 2A and 3A over years, but they've got a good balance of guys. But this PCA team can make some noise. They can challenge. Everybody really is at that same level. The only 2 schools I see out of that region that really are head and tails above everybody else, maybe St. James and Dadeville, only because when you think of those 2 teams, you think of St. James being a 4A power and Dadeville being in 5A many years ago, not too long ago, but still you've got that public school system of Dadeville able to feed into the whole time.
And next week PCA will move into region play. They will play at Pike Road. That game is scheduled to be taking place at Faulkner until Pike Road gets their stadium situation finished out there on the east side of Montgomery. So we're just about 14 minutes here from kickoff. We'll listen into the national anthem when that takes place here in just a moment. Montgomery Sports Network, you can visit us at mymgmsports.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can go to YouTube, look us up, search us there, Montgomery Sports Network. You can go to our website. We have all our games logged on there from last year. We have last week's game between Catholic and Tallahassee on there. You can go on YouTube, watch the entire game. You can watch highlights. Go to our Facebook page, like us on there. A lot of you have been doing that lately. You can follow us on Twitter at mymgmsports, also on Instagram. So we have we have our schedule for the year there. We have games with Prattville and Wetumpka later in the year, Wetumpka and Stanhope Elmore, Opelika, Stanhope Elmore. We go up to Holtville to see Elmore County take on the Bulldogs. We'll head back to Montgomery for some private school games between Alabama Christian and Catholic in the next few weeks. Also with Trinity and ACA. So a lot of action coming up here in the next few weeks as we start to step into region play with weeks 3 through 10.
This is the time of year where things really start getting ramped up. This is, school has gotten pushed back earlier and earlier, so you used to not play. This is usually that first weekend where school is in session and you've been in school starting Tuesday or Wednesday for a couple days before anybody really gets into classes. So this is going to be the meat of the schedule. You're about to see high school football pick up, football going on all over the country at all levels, and it's just a fun time of the year to be associated with it.
And last week, some teams played a jamboree. Some teams did not have a game. You can take a bye week whenever you want to. You have 11 weeks to play 10 games. Some schools take it in the middle, so it just depends on the scheduling philosophy of the coaches and the athletic directors. So we're just about 12 minutes from kickoff. We're going to take a quick time out here on the Montgomery Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in the field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was re-elected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
And welcome back to the Montgomery Sports Network. You're watching the Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School Montgomery pregame show, as we're just under 10 minutes from kickoff between Prattville Christian and JU Blacksher as we start week 2 here of the season here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Once again, you can follow us at mymgmsports.com. You can go to Facebook, like our page on there. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We post updates, highlights. You can find the archive games from last year and last week, and from this game will be on YouTube, and you can watch it live, or you can go home and watch it. If you got family and friends in the military, we're in the military area, Travis. It's good for people that around the country. They can tune in and watch us for free each and every week if you have relatives playing or cheering or in the band.
It really is. This is, it's a great it's a great avenue for parents, family, friends, even alumni of the former schools will be able to watch that never get a chance to come back, that move off. And I think that's kind of where things have taken off as far as sports and broadcasting. You got more web-based and more, archives of events to be able to go back and look and be able to go back and watch. And if you would have told me this was going to happen when I was in high school and we had it when I was in high school, we would have had family all over the country watching instead of coming to games. But they would venture that 5-6 hours. Now you have that luxury of being able to stay at home on a Friday night, not have to leave work early, and it gives those families a chance to be able to watch something they wouldn't be able to watch.
So this week we have Prattville Christian playing host to JU Blacksher. And, again, you can find our complete schedule on our website, mymgmsports.com. We have a game each and every Friday night. I know I'm grateful for the weather. Travis is also. We're not fighting the raindrops and the lightning to get in here and trying to guess if we're going to play or not. I'll be honest, I left our game last Friday at Montgomery Catholic and went and watched the Stanhope-Belmore-Chilton County game on the way home. Got there expecting to see my daughter dance at halftime, and then it turns out they sent them home because they didn't want to get the uniforms to West. So I stayed to watch the game anyway. But, it is what it is. So, but you can watch our games here from week to week. This week, no sign of any bad weather, not even a cloud in the sky tonight as we're here. We're battling the sunlight for a few more minutes till it goes down behind the school over here off to the west of us.
And that's last week you mentioned going in and watching another game. Last week I went home. I think my shoes are still wet from last Friday. I haven't been able to dry them out yet, but, it's just rain or shine. High school football is a great thing to watch, but, when you get it in weather like this with no clouds in the air, low humidity, high temperatures, the sun is glaring. That'll go down. Once the sun goes down, the temperatures will start to low. Then it'll feel like a Friday night all over again. And
the weather was down in the 60s the last couple of days in the morning. It's been nice out compared to the heat and humidity we had there. I remember you saying on the broadcast last week we had 7-8 straight days there at one point with 100-degree weather. It's just tough to recover and get the kids out there going through all that. But just about 6 minutes here. We'll listen in for the national anthem here in a moment. We'll go to that as soon as the band starts playing. But good crowd gathering here. We expect a good crowd tonight. Looks like JU Blacksher has brought a pretty good travel crowd, considered a good 2.5 hours away down in Monroe County.
It is a real good travel crowd, especially being that far away. And I touched on it a little bit earlier in the pregame show, is when you get these small school atmospheres, the small cities, they all know each other. They all band together. These are places sometimes that, they'll shut down shops in downtown and say, hey, we're going to high school football on Friday, and they'll travel to wherever the game is. And that happens all over, different pockets of the country. It's a great thing, but this crowd from JU Blacksher's really come out, and the crowd from PCA is starting to filter in as well. And, it'll be a great night for football.
Okay, we're going to listen in here for the invocation and the national anthem here at PCA.
Will be given by Ryan Lassiter, lead minister for Hunter Hills Church of Christ. And the national anthem will be played this evening by the PCA band under the direction of Mr. Ken Lance. Let's pray. God, we give you thanks for this beautiful evening and the opportunity that we have tonight to enjoy the great game of football. Thank you for both of these schools represented, for these student athletes, for the parents that love and support them, and the family members that support them. We pray your blessings upon them tonight for safety and protection. We pray that they would give their all, compete at their fullest, and at the end of this, remember that ultimately who they are your sons, called by you, formed by you, to be used by you for the sake of your glory and your kingdom. And all that we do, God, may we give glory to your name. We thank you for this community that we get to live in and enjoy, and for all that you're doing in and among us. Bless us tonight. In the name of Christ our Lord we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And tonight's national anthem was performed by the Prattville Christian Academy Panther Band. So we thank them for that rendition. As we are just about 3 minutes from kickoff, the captains making their way out into the field here, as we'll have a coin toss and get this thing underway here in week number 2. Last week we had Tallahassee. We said on the broadcast they looked a lot like LSU. JU Blacksher doing the same thing, especially the kids down here wearing the opposite, wearing the purple jerseys tonight down here on the sideline. Had that white look that LSU likes so traditionally coming out here. And Prattville Christian will be wearing the gray smoky uniforms tonight with the black and mixed in purple helmets. So a lot of purple here these first few weeks.
Not only is JU Blacksher the kids wearing and the team going with the LSU attire, the Miami U on the helmet. So it's kind of, they picked 2 Power 5 schools to emulate, and they've taken it to the next level.
And hopefully they won't have as many penalties and turnovers as the U did on Saturday night against Florida. But just about 3 minutes from kickoff here as the captains head on out there towards midfield. We'll try to listen in here and see who wins the toss. If you're JU Blacksher, do you think you want to go on offense here quick? If you have a lot of confidence, put some points on the board early, or do you want to play defense and see how it plays out a little bit?
Well, you scored 65 last week. You might want to see if that momentum carries over. But if you're PCA, you want to put the ball in your quarterback's hand to begin with. You want to put your defense on the field. To me, that's the biggest question mark. If I'm JU Blacksher and I'm sitting here looking at their captains right now, and if I've got a guy that looks like Javion Tucker standing out there at 6'3", 190, looks about 6'4", 220 realistically, I'd take the football if he's on offense.
Yeah, Blacksher has some good-looking kids coming out here working out in the warm-ups. Of course, I was always told as a kid, if you wear the all white, it makes you look larger too. So I don't know how true that's just a rumor. They're trying to not get us not scared playing Little League football or not. But still, officials going over directions here. And Prattville Christian is going to receive the football to start things out here. So the Panthers will be on offense to start this contest here tonight as the sun is finally starting to dip down off to the west of us and give us a little bit of relief as it's been in our eyes here the first 45 minutes or so. As you've been watching the Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School Montgomery pregame show here on the Montgomery Sports Network as we get ready for this Extermitech Pest Control game of the week here, week number 2, as both teams will get ready to run out in the field. Prattville Christian entering from our left, which is to our south here in our position, and JU Blacksher will enter from the north side of the stadium.
And we've got the luxury of the great seat again. Last week we had Montgomery Catholic down to our right. This time JU Blacksher right here on our left side. So we're going to get some entertainment, not only on the field but in the stands as well.
Yeah, JU Blacksher, not the largest band. Obviously it's a small school, but they have a lot of drum down there. I'm telling you what, they're going to blast it out here on us tonight. PCA has a good little band over there too as the Panthers are on the field, and here comes JU Blacksher coming out. As we'll get ready to kick off. So we got the Notre Dame fight song and the LSU look on the uniforms and the U on the side of the helmet here. So
they went ahead and just picked 3 good Power 5 schools to emulate some traditions from those schools. And obviously, if I've got 65 points in the first week, I think I'd keep doing the same thing I did last week. And then you've got fans in the stands wearing the Utah Ute hats. So they've taken it to the extreme here at JU Blacksher this week.
So we'll get ready for kickoff here. We play 12-minute quarters. Alabama High School football. As PCA will get ready to receive the opening kickoff. As back deep is number 30, Eric Eccles, one of the deeper men. And looks like number 6, Jacob Sabir, number 8, Matthew Lyle is the other returnman for PCA. As JU Blacksher breaks their sideline, get ready to kick off here. Lights still not on. I'm surprised they haven't put them on yet here to start the contest.
No, and before kickoff, the field here is just an immaculate condition, especially after the rain we got last week. Just great shape.
Number 9 will kick off for JU Blacksher. That is Andrew Dawson, a junior. As the crowd continues to file in here on the east side of Prattville at PCA. And Dawson's kick is away. Lyle's going to take it at about the 10. Work his way to the left side across the 20. Has some room across the 30. Knocked out of bounds on the far sideline as the Extermin Tech Pest Control game of the week is underway here on the Montgomery Sports Network. So nice kick. Back to the 10-yard line. A decent return for PCA.
Really good return. That's one thing we talked about with special teams. How do they come out? The one question mark I have for JU Blacksher, yeah, they scored 65 last week, but how does this defense respond? They gave up 22, which is a lot of points at this level when you think about it. That's a lot of points in high school football or football in particular. So we'll see how they react, and especially with them on defense on the first drive, how does that transfer over to their offense?
The quarterback is number 5, Jake Davis. And the first play is going to hand off to his tailback, number 13, spinning his way out towards the 43, 44-yard line for a first down is Andrew Rafe. So a nice carry, a nice gain on first down for PCA, as that first down is sponsored by Parisi Speed School of Montgomery.
And PCA will go up-tempo, no huddle. They've got their wristbands on. Pistol formation to start, which is kind of surprising when you're playing your first game. You try to catch people off guard. They're going to go with it again here.
Going to hand it off this time, and nothing happening there as number 6, Dorian Quarles, shot the gap and will drop Rafe for a loss of 3 on the play.
Tried the same play, tried to catch them off guard. They were able to fill the gaps, wide stances for PCA, but that time JU Blacksher was able to get in between the tackle and the guard and make the play.
So second down and 13. Again, that pistol set for the Panthers, and this time the change in the snap count is going to draw the entire defense of all sides, so 5-yard penalty here against the Bulldogs.
And it's just a hard count. We talked about it last week. Sometimes those hard counts will get you, and especially when you've never seen a team play, you've never heard their quarterback. And as a defense, if an offensive coordinator can see a blitz coming, he immediately goes to that hard count because there's nothing they can do once they start to come.
So a free 5 yards for PCA, second down and 8 at the 45. They'll try the hard count again, and now they'll look to the sideline. Play clock still has 10 seconds on it. And they're going to give it to Rafe again. Works left side, nice stiff arm there. Spinning his way for a couple yards out to about the 46-yard line. I'll bring up third down and long for PCA.
I will say this about the no huddle. It has its pros and cons, and that's one of the cons on that one. You wait to see what JU Blacksher does defensively. They really don't shift. They wait until you make your play call from the sideline, and then they shift, but then you're already locked into that play. That's the only thing about the no huddle and trying to read that defense without breaking up.
So third down and 7. Play clock still has 20 on it. If you weren't with us last week, we have a 40-second play clock now here in Alabama high school football, just like NCAA and NFL. So we got a traditional spread look here, 2 receivers each side, and we have a whistle before the snap. Going to be, it looks like off sides, I believe, on the Bulldogs.
That was on the far side.
So it is a free 5 yards for PCA, and now all of a sudden it brings up about third down and a long 3. Ball crosses into Bulldog territory at the 49. As PCA has to get to about the 46 for a first down. Davis hands it off. Rafe tries the right side. He stood up at the line of scrimmage. He's not going to have any gain on that play. And I'll bring up fourth down. And decision time for Coach Carter here in the early going, whether to go for it or punt.
This is one of those, this is 4-down territory, but it looks like they're going to punt the football. But the thing about that offside call, JU Blacksher was lined up offsides. They're in the neutral zone, so all they did was back up a yard and a half. You would think that helped PCA, but that actually put the defensive line as almost stand-up linebackers, and that's who made the play.
Ben Myers in the punt for PCA. His kick is away. It's going to roll. And going to be no return as the returnman, Kadarian Rabb, lets it roll to the ground, and the JU Blacksher offense will come out into the field for the first time here, starting inside their own 25-yard line. Inside their own 20 at the 19.
And he got a good roll off of that. He hit one of his upbacks in the helmet, which caused the ball to come out immediately and start rolling on the ground. But that takes the return game out for JU Blacksher. And this level, they put their best athlete back to return kicks.
So it looks like number 2, Kadarian Rabb, will call the signals here for Blacksher. as they shift their line. Some wide gaps here on the first play. Number 17, Daniel Nettles, also in the backfield with him. And Rab's got to call his own number. Has a lot of running room here on the near side. Breaks it to the sideline. Out crosses midfield on the cutback. Still going. Inside the 40. Finally dragged down near the 30-yard line. But that play's going to pick up 50 yards on first down for J.U. Blacksher.
Best athlete, where do you put him? You put him at quarterback. You're able to put the ball in his hands. Every play, we talked about that last week with Catholic and Tallahassee. But you put your best athlete, you line him up at quarterback. That way the ball is in his hands every play. He gets to make a decision. And he was a man running, looked like a man running amongst boys that time, as he was just able to get to the outside.
So that first down brought to you by Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School of Montgomery. 1st and 10 here. This time Nettles gets it straight up the middle, has some room. He's loose into the secondary. He's going to go into the end zone from 31 yards out, and a touchdown for J.U. Blacksher.
Guess now we see why they scored 65 last week. Not only your best athlete at quarterback, but you got another one in the backfield with him, but just a good read. An RPO that time for J.U. Blacksher, and he just stuck it in his running back's belly and let him take it because they were trying to key on the quarterback on that defensive end on the right side.
So Daniel Nettles, the sophomore, scores from 31 yards out. Extra point attempt here for the moment, as they got the lineman and a signal caller over here to the left, and then they're going to move back into the traditional formation. As it looks like number 9, Andrew Dawson, is going to do the place kicking here for the Bulldogs. Good snap, spot, kicks up, has plenty of distance, and it is good. So our score with 8:25 left in the first quarter. It is J.U. Blacksher 7, Prattville Christian nothing, after the 31-yard touchdown run by Nettles, which was set up by the 50-yard run by Rab on the first play of the game. So a 2-play drive, 81 yards. 81 and quickly out of the gate here for the Bulldogs to start this contest.
Simple quarterback run on the very first play of the game. He takes it outside, left side sweep from the quarterback, and then just an RPO. He's got the choice whether to run it, pass it, or stick it in the gut of his running back, and he read the defense, stuck it in the gut of his running back, and the interior line. When you run 50, 60 yards down the field outside, everybody looks for that outside sweep again. So everybody just evaded the middle, and J.U. Blacksher just able to go up. And I'm sure Jeremy Carter will make the adjustment to clog the middle up. But we said earlier, J.U. Blacksher looked very athletic before they got out here, and they're showing it. But again, PCA is their first game. Jitters, your first offensive drive's out. Your first defensive drive is over. So now you can settle in a little bit.
So back deep to receive the kickoff here will be Ben Eccles along with Matthew Lyle. And Dawson will kick off again for the Bulldogs. As they strike first, the lights are on now, starting to take effect here. Dawson's kick is away. Lyle's going to camp under this at about the 15. He fumbles it, recovers it at about the 20, sidesteps one defender, and gets out, began across the 30 out to about the 32, where PCA will start their second possession of the evening.
Very fortunate that Blacksher wasn't really running down the field hard on that kickoff coverage, because that ball was fumbled forward and he still struggled to get his hands on it. But PCA now settled in. They had a couple good looks offensively on their first drive. Now we'll see what adjustments they make while they had those guys on the sideline in order here for their second drive.
So 8:18 left first quarter, 7-0. J.U. Blacksher with the lead. As Lyle's in the backfield this time with Eccles. 2 running backs. And the quarterback, Davis, is going to pull it. Tries to go to the left. Not much happening there as he's going to lose a yard or 2 on the play.
Still not a bad play, because if he sticks it in his running back's gut, he loses about 5 or 6, because J.U. Blacksher just absolutely read that play perfectly with 2 backs in the backfield. But you got 2 teams that are going to run the spread. PCA still doing the no huddle, looks to the sideline, gets the call on the wristband. Now it'll be interesting to see if they change the play again at the line of scrimmage and try to get J.U. Blacksher sleeping.
So 2nd down and 11 here from the 30. Davis is going to look to put it up in the air and gets it out here to his back. Eccles, who makes a nice over-the-shoulder grab out across the 35 to about the 37, or took that Byers on the reception. No, Eccles on the reception, excuse me. So gain of 7. They'll bring up third down and about 5 here for the Panthers.
That was just a simple swing pass out to his running back, and Myers from J.U. Blacksher came off as receiver. The receiver from PCA didn't engage on the block, which allowed him on a simple swing pass. As soon as the pass goes in the air and it's caught, as a receiver, you need to turn and put your hands on the defender, and couldn't get it.
Rafe gets the handoff on the speed sweep this time, runs into his own blocker, loses the football, it's on the ground, still rolling over there towards the PCA sideline. A mad scramble for it. And I think PCA will get on top of it and retain possession. Looked like Rafe was trying to stretch out the football to get across for that first down and lost possession of it. It's going to bring up fourth down and about 2 here for PCA right at their own 40-yard line.
A lot happening on that play. A good read from PCA. They were able to get an off-tackle play to the left, but you got a face mask from Blacksher that didn't get called, another one from PCA that didn't get called, and then the ball just comes out of the air, goes straight to the sideline, and goes out of bounds.
And PCA's going to punt, and the return is fumbled by Rab. He picks it up, and he's quickly swarmed over by the Panthers down to the 35-yard line. So they'll flip the field a little bit. 6:21 left first quarter as J.U. Blacksher will come back out on offense for their second possession. Last series we saw the 2 plays. The splits by the line, rather unusual, but it seemed to create a lot of space, a lot of running lanes for the back and the quarterback.
Creates a lot of space, and if you look at J.U. Blacksher now, your best athlete probably on your team is at quarterback, and you see what number he's wearing, jersey number 2. Then you've got your running back in the backfield with him, another good-looking athlete, and then your third good-looking athlete on offense is out here. Now they put him in the slot. He was out wide. So this is when you're going to get a mismatch. You got your best receiver in the slot. Do you throw it up on your first pass play of the game?
They're going to have to hurry up to get the snap off. Play clock running down quickly. They're going to look to put it up in the air. Rab's going to throw it. He's looking deep over here for number 4. Tucker is underneath it. He has it. He's loose. Inside the 20. It's going to be 70 yards and a touchdown pass from Rab to Tucker just like that. You called it.
That's one of those late switches. When you see a guy go from the outside to the inside and he's always an outside receiver and they flip him to the slot, it's because it just creates that mismatch. He ran right by the defender and all he had to do was throw it up and it's an easy touchdown. But you've got to, defensively, you've got to see that you've got to shift your safety over. No shift from PCA that time and just allowed him to run down the football field.
So 70 yards in the air that time. The first drive was 81 yards on the ground as Dawson is in to attempt the extra point again for J.U. Blacksher. They lead at 13-0 at the moment. Good snap and spot. Kick has plenty of distance again. And it is good. So our score was 6:10 left in the first quarter. It is J.U. Blacksher. Offense as advertised, up quickly, up 14-0 in 3 plays.
3 plays, 2 touchdowns, 2 plays well over 60 yards, or 50 yards, excuse me. That play, it's just one of those as a defense you have to recognize, but a good switch by J.U. Blacksher. They saw something they liked on offense and against that PCA defense, made the switch, and as soon as that switch happened, it was one of those things you see your best guy goes into the slot, and you see it's just one of those things, okay, they're going to throw it up.
So we're going to take a quick timeout here as the officials are taking their heat timeout a few seconds early. We'll take a quick timeout here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermitech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermitech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermitech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermitech 334-209-4590.
And welcome back to the Extermitech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Real Christian trailing J.U. Blacksher 14-0 as Eccles and Lyles are back deep again to receive the kickoff here for the homestanding Panthers. Dawson's kick is away. Lyle gets it this time at about his 15. Once again across the 25 out to about the 27 where he finally dropped. So 1st and 10 again for PCA as we have 6:02 left here in this opening quarter. And not to start, obviously PCA won it, but there's still a lot of time left here in this football game, and obviously plenty of time for them to get back into things.
A lot of time left, but this is where they got to choose some clock because obviously that JU Blacksher offense is a quick strike offense. You don't want to put them right back on the field against your defense. You know, it's just 3 plays, but still 2 of those are really big plays. So offensively, you've got to get some yardage here and choose some clock.
So Andrew Rafe in the backfield with his quarterback Davis on 1st down with that pistol set again. Rafe gets it, spins 4 for maybe 1 on the play. Dropped it about the 28-yard line after a short gain as we're halfway through the first quarter now. Rafe with 5 carries here in the early going for the Panthers. His longest run to this point has been for 13 yards. Bring up 2nd down and 9. Eccles in the backfield this time with Rafe. Play clock still has 10 on it. Rafe gets a handoff this time, and again, not much happening there as they try the middle of the line, and they bring up 3rd down and long for PCA.
And again, everything for PCA so far has been in that interior, that defensive line, except for the one pass that we talked about on the last drive. They just didn't engage the blocker on the swing. They've got to get something to the outside. I know that's where the speed of JU Blackshear's defense is, but at the same time, you've got to be able to get something offensively going.
So 3 receivers this time to the near sideline here for PCA on 3rd and 10. Davis throws it out here complete to Rafe. Rafe moves forward out towards the 30, and he's dropped quickly by the Bulldog defense, and will bring up 4th down in another punting situation for PCA.
That play just outside the box, and what we consider the box is a couple feet outside the tackles each way. They've got to stretch this defense out. If they don't stretch this defense out, it's going to be a long night, and it's already turning into one of those here in the first quarter.
So punting situation again for the Panthers. And this kick is away. And Rab's going to pick it up on the bounce and go out of bounds quickly here on the near side. He's going to be marked out at about the 45-yard line. So great field position on the 3rd possession coming up for JU Blacksher. So as we said at the start of the telecast or broadcast, 65 points last week. 3 plays, 150 yards of offense so far for JU Blacksher on their first 2 possessions.
And now they've got a short field, and that's not what you want if you're PCA. And JU Blackshear's already got the play call from the sideline. Now they make an adjustment. And again, a little shifting going on the outside. I would expect a run play here. I would expect either,
And we have a timeout taken by PCA, it looks like. 3:55 left in the first quarter. Last year, Prattville Christian went down to JU Blacksher and won 22-21. The only meeting between these 2 schools. So they played last year down in South Alabama, and PCA came away with a 1-point victory.
They're going to, defensively, they're going to have to come up with something because right now they have no answer for JU Blackshear to be able to have that kind of game. But still a lot of football left, 3 full quarters left, 3:55 left here in this one. But, PCA, 3 plays from JU Blackshear, and then you call a defensive timeout on the first play from scrimmage on the 3rd drive. Not sure what they saw. It was the same look they've had. All they did was flip the receivers from the left side to the right side, and that's the first time they've been lined up on that right side.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs on the PCA 45-yard line. As Rab, the quarterback, with Nettles in the backfield. They're going to shift the tight end and the slot back over here. Nettles gets it, trying the right side, and this time he stood up by the Prattville Christian defense for a short gain. Nettles going to work to about the 43 for a gain of 2 on the play. And Nettles lost his helmet, so he's going to have to come out for one play. Have to bring in another running back. Looks like number 19, Jalen Hunt, coming into the game here for this second down play.
You know, J.U. Blackshear's still on script. Usually you script the first 12 to 15 plays, so this is play number 5 for J.U. Blackshear. So these are plays that they've gone over in practice, and unless they've decided to go away from that script, they're going to continue to run it.
Going to hand off to Hunt. Tries the right side. He stood up by the middle of that PCA defense for no gain, and here comes a critical third down in the early going for the Prattville Christian defense.
And that handoff almost went awry. The running back wasn't expecting it for J.U. Blackshear. So that tells me they're still on script because you got your backup running back come in, and he's not expecting the handoff, but that's the play you call. So now they're going to be back in with their starters out on offense again, third and long. But for them, it's third and manageable. Anything I would say, under 25 yards is manageable right now for this offense.
So third down and 8. Ball resting just inside the 43. Play clock has 10 on it. Offense still getting a signal here. Rab walks up to the line. He's going to back up. Play clock at 2. They're going to have to hurry. And we got a timeout taken by the coaching staff here on the near side as the play clock was about to run out. So clock stop with 2:36 left in the game clock. First quarter, we're going to take a quick timeout. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks Incorporated is a locally owned and operated business in Montgomery, Alabama. And we've been in business since 1985 and served Montgomery and the surrounding counties with burglar bars, ironworks. Our philosophy is being honest, dependable, and treating each customer with respect and selling a quality product at a fair price. If you need burglar bars or ironwork of any kind, call Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks, Montgomery.
Montgomery's best country is on Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Bama Country with Bubba and Christy every weekday morning 5:30 to 10 a.m.
We're gonna have a house party.
Bama Country playing today's best country and all the country legends. Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Listen to Bama Country 98.9 WBAM.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
So a critical third down and 8 coming up for the PCA defense. As this time, the Bulldogs will empty the backfield. Go 5 wide. Rab gets a snap. It's a blitz. He's forced out of the pocket. He's hit. Still dragging the defender. He's going to have the first down. He fumbled the ball forward. They're going to say the ground calls the fumble. So it's going to be a gain of about 10 that time for the quarterback, Rab. And another first down, which is brought to you by Mission Fitness and Performance, Parisi Speed School of Montgomery, as the Bulldogs move down to the 31-yard line.
And again, you call a blitz. Great call from PCA. They had him bottled up in the backfield, but again, that's an athlete, not really a quarterback. It's an athlete. They put it quarterback and can adjust and is really a running back. If you look at him, he's got the shape of a running back, and that may be what he plays at the next level.
And now we have a flag. Looks like some movement in the interior line. I think the center might have put his hand on the football and taken it off, put it back on. So illegal procedure against the Bulldogs. They'll mark that off 5 yards. That's their third penalty here in the first quarter. As we're just under 2 minutes to play here from Prattville Christian with J.U. Blacksher in front 14-0. As you're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. So they'll go empty again. 5 receivers, 4-man front for PCA. They're going to bring a 5th rusher. There's a quick throw over there. And a quick throw and catch over on the far side made by number 17, Nettles. Picks up about 5-6 yards on the play, bring up second down and 9.
So now they're starting to nickel and dime it, starting to run some shorter plays. And PCA has really started to change their defensive look. A lot of moving around now for both teams on the football field.
So last play gain 6. We'll call it 2nd and 9 as they got stacked receivers over here on the near side for the Bulldogs. Rab's going to take it himself straight up the middle. Going to move the pile forward to about the 27. He's picked up about 4. Bring up third down and about 6 for PCA as we go under a minute here in the first quarter. Excuse me, a third down for the Bulldogs as we go under a minute here at the PCA 26-yard line.
So 3 big plays, or 2 really big plays and touchdowns, and now 2 straight third downs on this possession.
Nettles stays in the backfield with Rab. 2 receivers split to the near side here. Rab's going to look to throw, looking for the slant in, finds his man there, and that's number 4. Tucker moves on into the end zone for the touchdown. 26 yards. Nice throw and catch that time for J.U. Blacksher.
Really nice play call on a third down. You haven't run that play yet. And so you take man on man, hat on hat. You just run it straight across the middle, and that's really just an extended running play when you think about it. Swing pass is a run play, a quick slant really is a run play, really not quite a pass play, but they're able to take advantage of the athleticism again.
So Dawson on to attempt the extra point here for the Bulldogs. He's made his first 2 rather easily. Good snap and spot. This kick, though, is low. It's going to sail wide left, no good, so I jinxed him. So our new score, 30 seconds left of the first quarter, is J.U. Blacksher 20, Prattville Christian Academy nothing, as the Bulldogs have gone 3 for 3 on their drives. That one much different than their first 2 drives that we saw tonight.
And that was one that you would expect a team like J.U. Blacksher to come out, and PCA, coached by Jeremy Carter, you would expect them to make those adjustments. It's still early. I mean, it's a 3-score game, but you still got jitters if you're PCA. You got jitters if you're coaches. We talked about it, players. But, that's the advantage when you play week 1. And then when you have a team that plays a jamboree, because a jamboree you work on different things. It's not a full game. J.U. Blacksher went and played 4 quarters of football last week and were able to get in game action. This will help PCA down the stretch, and this will get them ready for week 2.
So again, Lyle back deep with Eccles for PCA, as Dawson's leg is getting a workout here in the first 12 minutes. He's back out there for the kickoff. And you hear the band just below us from the Bulldogs making a lot of noise here, as they have made the 2.5-hour drive north. Dawson's kick again goes towards Lyle on the far sideline. This one drives him back inside the 10 as they'll bring up the left sideline and gets out to about the 30-yard line where he's finally dropped, where it'll be first and 10 for PCA. So all 4 PCA drives have been around that 30, 32-yard line area so far. Dawson's been consistently kicking off back to the 10 or 15-yard line to that far sideline.
He's very consistent, and now that I say that, I'm probably going to jinx him if he kicks off again, but he's probably every kick has gone to that left hash or just a little bit to the corner, but they've all landed at about the 10 or 15. PCA starting position has always been about the 30-yard line. They're averaging about the 28, 29, 30-yard line for their kick, for their first possession, or for the possession start. So we'll see what happens on this drive.
So first and 10 is going to be Lyle in the backfield, number 8, along with Eccles. Davis, the quarterback, an equipment malfunction for the Bulldogs, so one of their linemen had to come out. They'll replace him. And we'll get things started back here with 22 seconds left in the first quarter. This time Eccles going to try the left side. Going to fall forward for a short gain out to about the 32-yard line. And that play should take us to the end of the quarter number 1. So the scoreboard is going to hit triple zeros here. At the end of the first quarter, our score here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week, it is J.U. Blacksher 20 and Prattville Christian Academy nothing. We'll take a quick timeout and be back in just a moment.
Montgomery's new at-work station is 96.1 KISS FM. The biggest and best playlist and long sets of non-stop music.
But I'm not crazy, I'm just a little
96.1 KISS FM. Just the music you know and love. Montgomery's new at-work radio station.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
And welcome back to the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here. Prattville Christian Academy hosting us tonight as they trail JU Blacksher 20-0 as we get quarter number 2 underway. With Davis calling the signals back there again for PCA. Eccles going to take the handoff. This time he moves forward out to about the 35, 36-yard line. Nice little 4-yard gain there on second down.
Back-to-back positive, plus plays for PCA. That's something they haven't had tonight. They'll usually go a play where they'll pick up yards and then they fumbled, or they'll go a play where they pick up yards and then they get stopped either at the line or behind the line. So 2+ plays that time for PCA. It's third and manageable now for the Panthers.
3rd and 4 at the 36. They got to get out to about the 40 here for the first down. At this time, Lyle in the backfield with Eccles. Eccles is going to get it. Lyle's going to block for him. Eccles trying to drive forward. He stood up and pulled backwards. He's going to get about 2. Got about half of it, but 4th down and about 2 for PCA.
And that's just he got pulled around the waist, couldn't keep his feet moving. If he'd have been able to keep his feet moving, he might have gotten it to about 4th and 1. May have been able to pick it up because he looked like he had the momentum. The problem right now is if you watch the handoffs are almost like basket handoffs to PCA, to the running backs, because it's almost as if the pocket's not there and he's just handing it off and they've got their hands out just to reach for it.
So 4th down, they're going to go trips to the far side here. Play clock still has 10 seconds on it. And Davis gives that hard count, and it's going to be a free 5 yards and a first down for PCA, which is brought to you by Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School of Montgomery. So that is the 4th penalty tonight on JU Blacksher, the 3rd time they've jumped off sides.
And it's been 3 different players. It's been the right end, the nose guard, and this time it's the left end, and they take him out of the contest this time for JU Blacksher. And they pull him immediately to the side to talk to him just to settle him down a little bit.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for PCA on their own 43-yard line. Davis and Eccles in the backfield as the clock continues to run here. Eccles is going to take the handoff this time. Might have got one, if that, as the quick swarming Bulldog defense in there quickly. Number 19 making the initial contact, Jalen Hunt for the Bulldogs. So second, we'll call it 9 from the 44 as we go under 10 minutes of play here in the first half. As PCA, again, 40-second play clock. They have plenty of time here. Looking through the wristbands for the signals. They bring 2 receivers to the near side now. Looks like Rafe is in the backfield in the pistol set. They're going to look to throw here. Nice play call. He's dumped out here into the near side of Eccles. He's going to have the first down, and he fumbled the ball. It's loose on the ground. I think Eccles got back on. Nope. They're going to say that JU Blacksher recovers. So good play call, good execution, but the fumble there at the last moment, and it's going to be a 1st and 10 here for the Bulldogs.
That's a great play call. You roll the offense out to the left side. Your quarterback throw is going away from his body, wide open. It's just you bring your running back across. Everybody else fades to the wide side of the field. I'm not sure that he wasn't down on that play on the tackle. It looked like he was sitting down when the ball came out.
Yeah, I thought he was down too, and the ball kind of sat there for a good second before anybody from JU Blacksher jumped on it, and now we have Coach Carter taking the time out. May want to have a word here with the head official.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's standing at about the 38-yard line with his head set off, hands on his hips. He's going to ask the same question. It looked like he was down, but at this point there is no replay, so you can't go back and look at it. That's the one thing. of high school football. You have replay at select champion. You know, you have them at the championship games. You have them at the Champions Challenge. You don't have them during the regular season. And if, you know, an official says, no, he was down, you have to go based on what that official sees. And to Coach Carter's, you know, he's going off of what his coaches upstairs are saying, which they're right above us. So they've got the same vantage point we have. I honestly think he was sitting on the ground, because if he's not sitting on the ground, then his late reaction to that ball, he didn't react until the whistle started to blow.
Yeah, and really there was a lot of noise from the near sideline here for the visiting Bulldogs to get on the football. It was like a 1 second, 2 second delay before anybody hopped on the ball. So I thought he was down too, like you said, sitting there just for a moment. So the head official still having a discussion here with the near side about the last call. With 9:28 left here till halftime, it's 20-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. So when we start back, it'll be 1st and 10 on their own 42. And now the head official is going to give Coach Carter an explanation as to the call on that fumble. Lengthy discussion there as the two teams out on the field, lined up and ready to go. And the head official is going to move back after he hears Coach Carter. Well, now he's going to walk back over. We're still having this discussion here. So the play clock will reset to 25 seconds. So when we have a stoppage like this, the play clock resets to 25. After a play, it goes to 40 seconds and starts running, which is a new rule here. But so far in 2 games, a game and a half basically at this point, 6 quarters for us here on the Montgomery Sports Network, we have not really seen any issues with delayed games or anything for the most part. Most teams have been going pretty good pace, getting their plays in and ready to go.
Yeah, and the 40-second play clock is just a little bit to help speed it up, because you'll have the way these offenses are going now, they'll look to the sideline a lot. So the 40-second play call, the play clock, it starts immediately once that last play is over. So they're only really getting 15 seconds.
So here's a handoff. Nettles, they almost lined up as a fullback position that time. Going to go to about the 45. There's a flag on the field. And we have a holding call against the Bulldogs. So that'll be 15 yards and they'll march, or 10 yards and march that back from the spot. That is the 5th penalty tonight against the Bulldogs here midway through the second quarter, with 9:22 remaining. And one of the unique things we see here at PCA, the head official has the microphone, so he can talk to the crowd and call the holding penalty. Not calling out the numbers like we see on Saturday or Sundays, but he can communicate with what's going on there, which is always nice.
Okay, so we're about to put put to test what I said, that, you know, anything is manageable for Blacksher, maybe except for a 1st or 2nd and 25. They're about a 1st and 20 now.
Yes. Shotgun again. Going to be an inside handoff, double handoff here, and a lot of running room here. Cross midfield and a 1st down for number 18 on the run. Tucker Spence on the double handoff picks up 22 and a 1st down for the Bulldogs.
How do you have a play that you have drawn up for 1st and 20 that you pick up a 1st down? That's beyond me. And I mean, that was just a simple. That's almost like the new pop pass is almost what that happened. You bring the running back in motion, you hand it off to him. All he does is hand it off to the receiver coming across, almost like a pop pass, and he just cuts it up.
And that 1st down brought to you by Mission Fitness and Performance, Parisi Speed School of Montgomery. So 1st and 10, 8.5, clock continues to move. This time Rab's going to look to throw, and this pass is going to be dropped out here on the near side. It was intended for Justin Heffington and goes off his hands. He tried to make a move before he brought the football into him, so bring up 2nd down and 10.
And he had some green in front of him, and I think that's what he saw. But, you know, again, good play call from J.U. Blacksher. We talked about the arm of the quarterback coming in. He looks more like a running back, an athlete. Now he looks more like a quarterback. The long touchdown pass earlier, the slant, the quick hitch on that one, great arm. And PCA's gonna have their hands full the rest of this night, trying to stop this really 3-headed monster now on offense.
So 2nd and 10. Rab pulls the ball himself this time, breaks one tackle, crosses 40, breaks another tackle as a flag comes in from behind the play. He's going to pick up about 13 yards, but there's a flag in the area of offensive holding. And that's what it is. They're marching back here with 8:11 left here till halftime. See if we can listen into the head official. So there you go, just like on Saturday or Sunday, minus calling out the player's number. So they'll back him up here. That's going to bring up second down and about 21, 22 here for the Bulldogs.
And again, that right now is the best defense for PCA or the holding penalties from JU Blacksher. So now, again, a second, and this time a second down and long. See what they dial up.
And it looked like PCA jumped offside, so the hard count that time used in reverse by the Bulldogs to get a free 5. So they move it up here right in front of us at about the Bulldog 48-yard line, so to bring up second down and 17. They have to get down to the PCA 36 for a first down. Clock moves under 8 minutes now. And a traditional spread look this time for the Bulldogs. Nettles in the backfield with Rab. Rab pulls it again, coming to the right side. Going to pick up about 6 yards and bring up third down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
And again, right up the middle, that would have been a first down if it would have been, second and 10. But it was second and long. So this is really a third and manageable now. We've seen some big plays come out from JU Blacksher. And here it is, a third and 10. And we'll see what PCA dials up if they try to come after him on this play.
Nettles in the backfield with Rab. They're going to move the slot back to the near side, roll the pocket over here. Rab looking, throws, and it goes incomplete as it hits the dirt. One hops his receiver that time as he's looking for Javian Tucker on the near sideline and bring up fourth down and 10. And decision time for the Bulldogs as the punter go for it.
And I think they're going to go for it. I mean, you just rolled your quarterback out and you got your receiver open. He just short hopped him. Why punt it here when you're up by 3 scores and you're on your opponent's side of the 50? If you don't get it, you're turning the ball over in their territory anyway.
So 2 receivers to the far side. Tucker down here at the bottom of the screen, number 4. They try the hard count. They look to the sideline. Still 8 seconds on the play clock. It looks like we're going to get a timeout from Coach Sims. So as their second timeout of the half taken. So 6:13 left until the intermission.
And that's just odd to call a timeout. The clock is stopped. The play clock shouldn't have even come into effect that time. You should have a play ready to go because you just had an incomplete pass, and you've got the play because you've run a first and long. You've gotten a first down, a second and long. You've gotten it to third and manageable. Now it's 4th and 10. You've got the plays. You should know what's coming with the clock not running, and there was still time on the play clock.
So 6:13 left. If you're just joining us, our first question we're going to ask, where have you been? We should have been here at 7 o'clock, but that's okay. We'll forgive you this time. But JU Blacksher came into this game. They put 65 on the board last week against McIntosh. They scored on a 2-play, 81-yard drive. And in their second possession, they had a 70-yard pass for a touchdown. So 3 plays into the game, they had 14 points on the board. It's settled down a little bit since that point. PCA's defense has played a little bit better. They forced JU Blacksher into a long drive, and now it's 4th down and 10. As again, it looks like the Bulldogs will go for it. They're going to put it up in the air. Looking near side, looking for Tucker. He's behind the defense. It goes flying out of bounds, incomplete. So there'll be a turnover on downs as there was some contact, but I don't think the ball was catchable. It looked like it was out of bounds. So now a fly comes in from way after the play.
And this could be a taunting penalty on PCA because he stood over top of him and talked, but I'm not sure it's going to be a pass interference call. If it is, it came in mighty late. That ball was a good 4 or 5 yards out of bounds. So we'll see. I think this might just be a taunting call because he stood over top of him after the play.
So it came from the back judge, not the closest official, did not throw the flag. Yeah, they're calling pass interference
Wow.
against PCA.
And that came in really, really late.
So that'll be a first down for the Bulldogs, presented by Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School of Montgomery, as they're going to mark this off down near the 31-yard line. So the PCA defense able to hold on there, but the penalty is going to give new life to the Bulldogs. Second call here is kind of going iffy against PCA here in the last few moments, as Tucker and Nettles are in the backfield, or excuse me, Rab and Nettles are in the backfield for the Bulldogs, as we're down to 6:03 left here in the first half. Got a little speed sweep out here. Quick pitch, and Nettles breaks a tackle. He's going to have another first down. Looks like he's down close to the 20-yard line.
And PCA had that play read perfectly, just didn't make the tackle. He ran through 3 arm tackles that time, and now you got PCA. You got players going to the officials now asking about holding and other penalties. Just make the simple play. You had him bottled up for no gain. You just didn't make it.
So it'll be another first down presented by Mission Fitness and Performance, the Parisi Speed School of Montgomery. So 1st and 10, ball resting right at the 20-yard line. Clock moving, 5:25 left in the first half. J.U. Blacksher in complete control at the moment. And Rab's going to pull it himself. Has some running room on the near side. Runs over defender inside the 10, down to about the 5-yard line. So a 15-yard gain and another first down for the Bulldogs.
And if I'm J.U. Blacksher, I just keep running the same play. Flag on the interior line, and he's signaling something. I don't know. It's like somebody got driven to the ground is what the signal he gave. The official talking to the referee.
So we'll see if the head official will give us a explanation here. Try to listen in.
Personal foul, offense, 15-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So 15-yard personal foul against the Bulldogs. So they're going to march that back. He did not say dead ball, so I assume it was during the play.
It was during the play. That flag came out, and somebody on that interior line, not sure who it was, took the defensive player, basically picked him up and drove him into the ground, and you can't lift a player up, which is exactly what he did.
So 1st and 25. We just saw a few moments ago they had 1st and 22, and they were able to get out of it and get a first down, as we're under 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Rab going to put it up in the air. Now he's going to try to take it himself. He's quickly driven to the ground by the PCA defense. A nice play that time for PCA, as number 55, Jake Bluss, making the play. Getting the sack, a loss of 4 or 5 yards on the play.
And PCA was able to cause a little chaos that time in that line of J.U. Blacksher. And once you get your quarterback dancing around in the backfield, he doesn't get his feet set, it becomes chaotic. And that's exactly what happened, and he just couldn't. He didn't have anywhere to go with the football.
And there's been a couple times they've had him bottled up. He's been able to escape, but not that time, as he was quickly driven to the ground as we approach the 4-minute mark here before halftime. Second down and extremely long. They're going to put this one up over the middle. He's got a man racing wide open over the middle. It's number 18, Spence, on the grab, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown, 42 yards. No one picked him up, as he ran straight down the middle of the field. Nice throw and catch that time for the Bulldogs.
And again, you go back to the plays they set it up with. They go with the sweep with the running back, a quarterback keep outside. Then they were trying to set it up, I think, on the last play they were looking to pass, and which created the sack. So that just opens it up, and that's all their offense really is speed sweep here, speed sweep there, off tackle here, off tackle there, and then I'm going to hit you with a big play.
So nice throw right over the middle. Nice catch that time by Spence, 42 yards, and the score is 26-0. Dawson will attempt the extra point again with 3:54 remaining in the first half.
Dawson on for the PAT.
Snap and spot. Kick looks much better this time, and it is good. So our new score, 27-0 in favor of the Bulldogs here over Prattville Christian Academy. So that time, this offense, we had some questions whether or not it was as advertised. 65 points in the first game. They got 27 here with just under 4 minutes left in the first half, and they've been able to grind out a drive. They've faced 2nd and long, 2nd and 22, 2nd and 25, and still managed to get first downs and big plays and score out of it.
It almost goes, and we didn't get to see that game last week against McIntosh, but it kind of makes you wonder if they didn't score very quickly like they have here, put their backups in, and McIntosh was able to score, and that may be why they gave up the 22. If this is the J.U. Blacksher offense that you're going to see, for the entire year, they're going to create some problems in that region, and they could have a chance to get in the playoffs this year.
And as you said, they kind of got that three-headed monster going right now. Between Rab, the quarterback, Tucker, the receiver, they got Nettles, the running back, Quarles, the other receiver. They just have a lot of options they can go to on offense, and it's really putting a lot of pressure on the PCA defense spread out trying to cover these guys all over the field.
And it's one of those things, and then you come on defense, and then you try to stay away from those guys on defense, and then they've got some other guys on defense. They've got a couple, another three-headed monster on that side of the football. So, PCA's got their hands full. We knew they were going to have their hands full coming in, and J.U. Blacksher is basically just taking this game under control quickly.
Dawson's kick is away. Lyle's going to let it hit at the 20. He plays off the one hop. Coming near side, has some room across the 30. Nice return, and knocked out of bounds around the 35-yard line. So PCA will get decent field position here with 3:47 left in the first half. So last time PCA had the football, they had a nice bootleg play. Picked up about 15 yards on the first down. Then we had the fumble that may have not been a fumble, but was ruled a fumble. So they had something working there in that last drive with the play action and so they've had some moments where they've gotten some first downs, just haven't been able to sustain it here to this point.
3+ plays on that last drive, and that's more plus plays than they've had. And I'll go ahead and tell you what this conversation's about. The referee has captains from each team at about the 36, 37-yard line. There's been a lot of talking that's been going on here over the last, 10, 15 plays, and it really started on that long touchdown pass in the first quarter, and it's kind of escalated a little bit here to where now everybody's talking to everybody, and they're just trying to get the game under control.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Lyle's going to get the handoff on the speed sweep, trying the right side. Going to move forward out to about the 39, so a gain of about 4 or 5 on first down.
Another plus play. That's 4+ plays out of the last 5 for PCA. So they're starting to build some momentum, starting to get some things going. And again, we talked about this in last week's game. You have to continue to work on the things this early in the season before region. These games really don't mean a whole lot. Maybe a tiebreaker down the road if you need it. But other than that, it's really we got to work to get better for region.
This time they fake the hand off the gun, and looks like the quarterback's going to keep it to the right side, and he's close to the first down. In fact, I think he's going to have it. He's out near the 45-yard line. They're going to stop the clock and move the chains. So Davis carries it himself for 5 yards at a first down.
If I'm not mistaken, that might be the first down, maybe the second first down for PCA. And so now they're moving the football a little bit. It took them, just a couple plays to pick up that first down, and they've got J.U. Blacksher hands on their hips trying to figure things out now defensively just after 2 plays.
So 1st and 10 at the 45. Looks like Rafe comes back into the backfield in a pistol set again. Rafe's going to get the handoff coming near side. Nice stiff arm, but then he's drugged down after a short gain out to about the 47-yard line. That play had the potential, if he could have broke that tackle, for a large gain there.
He had the seam if he was able to get out, but just a great play for Blacksher, being able to hang on to that torso, even though he got the stiff arm. And I think that stiff arm may have gotten the best of PCA that time because they're sitting out here steadily shaking his arm now.
So Rafe goes out to the slot, and Kenny Gunn moves into the slot position, or running back position, excuse me. And Davis, that was a miscommunication there. He's under some heavy duress, trying to race to the sideline, dragged down for a loss on the play. Back at about the 41, looked like he wanted to hand it off, and there was nobody home to hand it off to as we go under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. So bring up 3rd down and about 14 for PCA. Haven't really seen PCA take a shot down the field. Most of their passes has been short, out rolling the pocket a little bit. As I go 2 receivers to the near side. And 2 to the far side. Lyle goes in motion. They fake the handoff, looking for the slant over here. And they're going to say a nice catch that time. They're going to say yes. They're going to spot it. Yes, pass was complete to number 10, Trey Barkley. So it's going to pick up. No, they're going to move back. Never mind. Incomplete. So they're going to say hit the turf. So it's 4th down, and the clock has stopped with 1:06 left here till halftime. It looks like PCA is going to punt again. And Rab is back deep. Nope. No, they're going to go for it. And now we have a timeout taken by the Bulldogs with 1:06 remaining here in the first half as PCA lined up to go for it. And that should be PCA's last timeout of the first half with a score 27-0 here. Complete control at the moment for JU Blacksher. A couple other scores. Chilton County is leading Sylacauga in the second quarter, 14-7. And Prattville ahead of Stand-Up Elmore 20-0 midway through the second quarter, just down the road here in downtown Prattville. So a lot of games happening here tonight. But get back to your point, Travis. This is a non-region game, so there's a lot of opportunity here for PCA to work on stuff that they need to for when they get into region play in the next couple weeks.
And that gets lost on a lot of people. I think everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to win every game. Every game used to really matter back in the day of the 3 or 4 team areas because they were always, all of them were tiebreakers. But now you get into region play, you play 7 games. There's not a whole lot of tiebreakers because the tiebreakers determine themselves in the region play. Then they take one of the non-region games basically as a tiebreaker game. But so, these games are just preparation games. It's okay if you don't win your non-region games and you go 4-3 in your region to make the playoffs. Because guess what? You're in the playoffs no matter what.
So 4th down and 14. PCA has 3 receivers to the near side. They're going to go for it. And now looks like the quarterback is going to move back and try to maybe punt here. No return men back deep for the moment for the Bulldogs. He is going to kick it. Looks like Nettles runs back to chase after it. And he's going to let it roll. And he gets very close to it. He picks it up. And now there's a scrum for the football. That's a dangerous play by Nettles. He's going to be able to hang on to it. It'll be 1st and 10 for JU Blacksher back near their own 22-23 yard line. So no timeouts remaining, I believe, for either team at this point. They don't have them on the scoreboard, so we're trying to go off memory. I think both teams have exhausted their timeouts. So the Bulldogs will start out 1st and 10 on their own 22, and they need their own football. Everybody uses a different football. There's no universal football, it seems like, anymore. As the ball boy for the Bulldogs will get the correct football into the field for the offense, and they'll take possession with 1:06 left. And Rab's going to be back there by himself as going to go with a 5 wide set, 3 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. Very slow to get things going here. Not sure what the holdup is.
The clock never, there it is.
They
the
never
clock
moved on the
never
punt.
moved.
Okay.
So it's kind of, it's one of those things where you try to figure out what's going on, and they're just not, there's no communication.
So 57 seconds remaining. They took 9 seconds off the clock on the punt. Rab has trouble with the snap, and we have a flag, and play is stopped. And they're calling, it looked like holding in the middle of the play. They stopped the action there. False start. Okay, false start on the Bulldogs. So the only negative at this point for the Bulldogs, that is the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th penalty of the night here at this point for 60 yards. So they've been held up a few times on some holding penalties, some offsides. Of course, a personal foul, so it'll be 1st and 15. With 54 seconds left now until halftime. Again, they'll go with the 5-wide set. Comes a blitz by PCA. Rab's got to break through the line. He is loose again into the secondary. There's a flag coming in the area, offensive holding, as Rab will step out of bounds near the 35-yard line.
But still, it's just one of those things that, you want to be able to say, okay, that play is still a good play, but why are you holding on the interior line when that play is outside the hashes? There's no reason for you to be holding, inside the tackle when you know your quarterback's already going outside.
So they'll mark it back. Another 10 yards. These 9 flags against the Bulldogs for 70 yards. As the clock is stopped with 45 seconds left. It'll be first down in about 20, as that was a spot foul. And the clock is moving. This time they're going to hand it off. And Nettles breaks loose into the secondary, spinning his way out close to a first down, out to about the 34-yard line. 21 yards and a first down for Nettles.
Good play call, better run. But again, we go back to the previous play. That play runs up the middle. You don't have a holding call. But you get your quarterback out on the edge, on a design run on the edge, and you get a holding call on the interior.
So 1st and 10 at the 33, 34. Rab takes it himself this time. He's loose again across the 40, working towards the sideline. Dragged down. He's going to have the first down. I don't think he got out of bounds, though, so it'll be another first down. That is sponsored by Mission Fitness and Performance, Parisi Speed School of Montgomery. Another first down for the Bulldogs as they move towards midfield. Clock stopped for momentarily. Now started in 15 seconds. They're going to have to hurry to get another play off. Looks like they're going to try to spike it. And there's a spike. You cannot spike the ball from the shotgun, so teams have to run up there and spike it from under center, even though the Bulldogs have not really gone under center all night. So the 4.8 seconds left. And obviously time for the Hail Mary Big Ben play here. And I have no doubt that Rab probably can get the ball to the end zone if he can get outside here and get his legs underneath him.
And he waited so long to spike that football. They got an illegal shift because guys stood up trying to get him to spike it. But, this is one of those of you get everybody running deep. Rab may just take off with it and run and see what can happen. He's got the legs to do it too.
So 4.8 seconds left here in the first half. Play clock at 10 as they're shifting the receivers around. Looks like Tucker's going to come to the near side. They're going to have to hurry to get a snap off. They're not going to get it off. It's going to be another delay. It's going to be a delay game against JU Blacksher. So another penalty. I'm going to break a calculator out here to figure out all the flag yardage here in the first half.
They're just moving him back. His arm is a little stronger than everybody thinks, so they have to move him back so it doesn't throw it over the fence behind the back of the end zone.
So they're back to the 30, their own 37. They were out here near midfield just a moment ago. And they're just going to take a knee and take it to the half. And that'll do it. So first half has been controlled by JU Blacksher. They lead it over Prattville Christian Academy by a score of 27-0 here at halftime on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. We're going to take a quick timeout, come back, get some stats and word from our sponsors here. You've been watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe, located on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. From our great lunch selection and value to our tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something to offer all connoisseurs of fine Mexican dining. Come on down today and enjoy some great Mexican. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown. Experience the history of the first country music superstar and see how Hank Williams transformed country music and sowed the seeds of what was to become American music. Visit the Hank Williams Museum, nestled in historic downtown Montgomery, Alabama. The Hank Williams Museum is one of the top tourist attractions in Alabama. Museum hours are 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, and 1 to 4 on Sunday. And they offer group rates, AAA, and military discounts. Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks Incorporated is a locally owned and operated business in Montgomery, Alabama. And we've been in business since 1985 and served Montgomery and the surrounding counties with burglar bars, ironworks. Our philosophy is being honest, dependable, and treating each customer with respect and selling a quality product at a fair price. If you need burglar bars or ironwork of any kind, call Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks, Montgomery.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was re-elected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
Hi, I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in because for 75 years, Smokey only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
And welcome back to the Extermitech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. We're at halftime. J.U. Blacksher in control, 27-0 over the homestanding Panthers of PCA. My name is Kane Young. I'm here with Travis Jerome. Travis, first half, J.U. Blacksher offense, quick strike, 3 plays, 14 points on the board before everybody even got settled into their seats.
Yeah, there were still people walking into the stadium, into the facility when J.U. Blacksher got possession the first time, and 2 quick plays and set up by the long run from the quarterback, and then second drive, boom, right out of the gate, a touchdown on the first play. They settled in a little bit, PCA started being able to pick up some things defensively, but J.U. Blacksher used that to work on some other offensive stuff, and we talked about it. They're in their J.U. Blacksher was into their 4th, 5th drive of the game, still on their scripted plays because of the fact that most teams go 15, 20 scripted plays that they have to try to go through, and so they went through those, and then late in the half, PCA's defense was able to pick up on some other things, but and I said it very jokingly, but J.U. Blacksher, I don't think there's a scenario that they can't handle offensively. They were in a 1st and 20, picked up 22. They were in a 2nd and 20, picked up 10. They were in the clock with 4 seconds left. They throw a touchdown pass down the middle of the field over 50 yards. I mean, it's just one of those things that their offense is really clicking right now.
Yeah, they have a lot of weapons. Can beat you on the ground. They have guys that can make plays, break tackles. They just a lot happening there on offense. They put 65 on the board last week. PCA's defense, as we said there, they had their moments. They had some blitzes. They had them contained a few times. A couple times, though, they just, the Bulldogs had the quarterback Rab just able to make plays on his own and escape the pocket and get. Then next thing you know, there's nobody there, and that's when he gets to the second level.
And I would dare say that their offense, as we watch the band for J.U. Blacksher right now, is on fire, much like the twirler is out there with their batons, and it's just. But PCA had some plus plays there near the end of the half. They've just got to find a way on plus plays to pick up more than 4 or 5 at a time and then get put in a punting situation. They had opportunities. They've had situations where maybe a different read here, a different read there, but they've had a couple of good passing plays where they've rolled the quarterback out, gave him some space, and that may be what they need to do in the second half, and this is where you make those adjustments. But again, right now everything's being dictated by J.U. Blacksher, offensively and defensively, and PCA's got to find a way to stop it. Otherwise, J.U. Blacksher could have easily scored a couple more times, but PCA ate some clock up on those last 2 drives.
So we'll take a moment here at halftime to thank our sponsors once again. They are our title sponsor, Extermitech Pest Control, locally owned and operated. Extermitech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team voted best in Montgomery. If you have bugs bugging you, call Extermitech. They have been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Call 334-209-4590. We'd like to thank attorney Matt Matthews of ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com. Workers' compensation attorney Matt Matthews has many years of experience litigating workers' compensation cases in Alabama. If you are hurt on the job, he can help you get the benefits you deserve. Visit ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com or call 334-721-4878. We'd also like to thank Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School Montgomery, athletes and coaching staffs. If you want your team to train with the best sports performance program in the area, talk to Mission Fitness and Performance, home of the only Parisi Speed School in Alabama. Find out why Parisi Speed School has been the industry leader in sports performance training for 27 years, located right here in the River Region. Call Mission Fitness and Performance at 334-318-3639 or visit missionfitness.com. We'd also like to thank the Hank Williams Museum. This 6,000 square foot museum is located at 118 Commerce Street in downtown Montgomery. You can take a step back in time and learn about the musical history and life of a Montgomery man who is known as the legendary singer and songwriter Hank Williams. Browse the large gift shop. Groups are always welcome at the Hank Williams Museum. We'd also like to thank Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. They are celebrating their 102nd year in business here in the capital city, located just steps from the state capitol at 138 Dexter Avenue. Chris's Caters. They have hot dogs at your have Chris's Hot Dogs at your next meeting or event. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs, taste the tradition. Call orders in advance 334-265-6850. And here's Travis with the rest of our sponsors.
Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks is a locally owned and operated business. They've been in business since 1985 and serve Montgomery and the surrounding counties. Mid-State builds and installs burglar bars, AC guards, hand railings, fencing, storm doors, and more. Make sure to check out the decorative handrails, a true work of art. Call Mid-State at 334-313-9015. La Zona Rosa Mexican Cafe, located at 2838 Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. Check out their great build-your-own lunch and dinner selections and updated menus. Make La Zona Rosa your choice for authentic Tex-Mex and Salvadorian cuisine. Open Monday through Saturday. Call 334-274-1153. Delta Printing and Sign Company, opened in 1979 and is still local and family-owned. As a second-generation business, they have stayed true to their roots. They get to know their customers and take pride in helping meet their printing needs. and stay within their budget. Their goal is the same now as it was when they first opened, to provide a quality product at a competitive price, a company with exceptional customer service. So remember, no matter what it is, when you need signs, printing, direct mail, let Delta do it. Call 334-271-COPY. And our media partner, the stations of Blue Water Broadcasting, News Talk 93.1, Kiss FM 97.9 Jams, Bama Country 98.9, Yo 100.5, Classic Country The Possum 104.9 The Gump, and 107.1 The Vault. They are local folks helping local business. Call them today and let them help your business out. 332-244-0961.
And we'd also like to thank Mac the Camera Guy, MacTheCameraGuy.com, for all your needs for photography, for proms, weddings, businesses. He will hook you up. Visit MacTheCameraGuy.com. We thank all our sponsors. We could not do this without them, so please tell them we sent you here from the Montgomery Sports Network when you go visit our sponsors throughout the River region. So we'll take a moment here to look at the statistics for halftime. Across the board here, first half, 10 first downs for the Bulldogs. The Panthers, the PCA, had 3. The rushing yards, 165 for J.U. Blacksher to compare to 31 for PCA. In the air, 144 in the air for the Bulldogs compared to the Panthers, 26. Total yards in the first half, 309 for the Bulldogs compared to 57 for PCA. Only one turnover. That turnover was costly for PCA because they had something moving. They had actually has a couple nice plays, gotten into Bulldog territory, and it was kind of a controversial fumble. Was he down, not down kind of thing, bang, bang play. And next thing you know, that stalled the drive. At that point, the game was only 14-0, so there was still a real opportunity. They could have punched one in right there. We might have a different ball game at this point.
And J.U. Blacksher was able to go down and score after that play, and you have to attribute that to the long delay when, the PCA coaching staff was questioning the play, and the play happened right here in front of us at the 42, where you can see the big divot in the field is where it all happened, and it was controversial. It looked like he was down, looked like he was sitting down. He really didn't go for the football, but the whistle came in late, and I think that was a lot to do with it. It was the timing of the whistle. The whistle came in really late on the play, so J.U. Blacksher was still active. There were 3 defenders there, but that really swung things back J.U. Blacksher's way. PCA could have gone down, ate some more time, and maybe not have scored. But if they didn't score, they could have proved they could move the football. But if they could have put some points on the board, it may have been able to swing some momentum.
And put some game pressure on the Bulldogs, which we have not seen tonight. The Bulldogs will get the kickoff to start the second half as PCA's band is out there performing here to finish up our halftime. Just about 5 minutes here left until we get the second half started. So a lot of games happening around the state. A game happening just down the road from us here in downtown Prattville. It is Prattville leading Stanhope Belmore at halftime 21-0. We'll have both of those teams later on in the year here on the Montgomery Sports Network. But that's a rivalry that Prattville's controlled pretty well since the days of Bill Clark. When he took over in the early 2000s, they've kind of controlled that series against Stanhope Belmore. And tonight the Lions trying to reassert themselves as one of the dominant teams in the 7A classification.
Yeah, and it's 7A is almost like the powerhouse, and you would think that way for 7A. And you've got teams that are trying to make their mark back in to get into 7A and say, hey, I belong here. I don't belong in 6A. For instance, the Hoovers of the world, they're 7A. They dominated 6A. They won 7A. They felt like last week they had to prove something against Central Phoenix City. Same thing with Prattville. Same thing with the Auburns, Opelika's of the world, even though they're 6A, but in 6A and 7A. But all those teams feel like they have something to prove, especially early, because now getting rivalry matchups. There's one going on in Lee County this week, Auburn Opelika, early this season.
Yeah,
so, I mean it's kind of odd to see rivalry games early, but that's what happens when you have teams in different classifications that used to be in the same region.
Yeah, for years, Prattville and Stanhope Belmore were a 6A region game, along with Wetumpka. Stanhope-Wetumpka still in the region together. Mm-hmm. You speak of Opelika and Auburn, they have a region matchup. Auburn leads that game at the half against Opelika 7-0. So, they got these rivalry games, these neighbor schools right beside each other, a different classification. But like you said, it's different playing in week 2 compared to week 7, 8, 9, like it used to be down a couple of years ago.
City schools used to play Lee Lanier, Lee Jeff Davis, Carver Jeff Davis, all used to play late in the year. Now they're playing early. Lee Lanier's playing today.
Yep, playing Robert E. Lee down in Crampton Bowl. So Things change with the 7A classifications here. We'll have Opelika later this year. They'll come visit Stanhope Belmore over here in Millbrook late in the season, as last year Stanhope Belmore, Opelika, and Wetumpka actually had a three-way tie for their region competition that ended up in a tiebreaker where Wetumpka ended up getting the 1 seed out of all that jumble mess. So just about 3 minutes here left in halftime. The teams will come out and get an extra warm-up here, even though the temperatures cooled down significantly. Just turned into a nice night here for high school football compared to what we saw last week with so many games being delayed around the area and around the state. Some teams making up games on Saturday morning. Marbury up the road was playing Saturday morning against Montevallo. So just a good night for high school football here. And you remarked earlier about the field. This playing surface here at PCA is just in excellent shape compared to some that we see in the area.
No, it really is, and and a lot of that has to be attributed to the time spent by the coaching staff to get things ready. And a lot of it has to do too. They didn't play on the field last week, so they didn't tear it up with the weather. Some of the schools, the field was immaculate, and got to work. Montgomery Catholic's field last week was in really good shape. And then as the game wore on because of the rain, you could see where the plays were really taking place. You can actually see here where the plays have started. Most of the plays are when you get from the 40 to the 35 to our right, in between the hashes, a lot of divots. Not a lot on the far end, but a few right here in front of us at about the 47. And again, that 42 mark is where we know that fumble happened. So unless somebody goes out there and pounds that divot down in the ground, I'm going to keep staring at that thing and remember that that's where the momentum could have swung on.
So we're going to take a timeout here. We'll come back in just a moment and get ready for the second half. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590.
And welcome back to the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. You can visit our website, mymgmsports.com. Go to Facebook, like our page there. You can follow us on Twitter at mymgmsports. Go to Instagram. You can follow us there. Get updates, archive games. You can go on YouTube, search past games, past contests. This game will be on YouTube. It's on there now. You're watching live with us on YouTube, or whether you're watching on our website. We appreciate you watching with us each and every week, but you can watch past games here from last year and also highlight videos and all that from last season and this season. The big star in the first half for JU Blacksher was the quarterback, Kadarian Rabb. In the first half, he was 4 for 5, 144 yards, 3 touchdown passes. Also had a 50-yard run on the ground, had 78 yards total on 7 carries in the first half. He kind of did it all, got this show going here for the Bulldogs at the start of this contest.
He really did, and we just talked to a couple of PCA coaches coming through, and I kind of looked at him and said, man, they got some athletes on the field. And the first word out of his mouth was, quarterback doesn't belong in this level. And then I even said the same thing, and we laughed about it. He looks like a 6A, 7A quarterback when you look at him, and to be at this level, an athlete like that can dominate easily.
Yeah, and he's just a junior, 6'4", 190, just a junior. The other big receiver, Tucker, he's a senior. Quarles is also a senior. And the main running back tonight, Daniel Nettles, just a sophomore. So, they can have that 1-2 combo back again next year and build off that. But they have several weapons they can hit. They're not one-dimensional by any means. So we saw them put up 65 on the board last week, and they got 27 here in half a game tonight. For PCA, they had some things working there, some bootleg passes we talked about. They were able to get some first downs on some passes there from Davis. The fumble really hurt them. They just haven't been able to. They've had some. There've been some times there's been some seams out there, just haven't been able to break the big play this evening.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. We can continue to talk about early non-region games, but the big plays are what's going to win you and lose you games, and JU Blackshear's used that big play tonight to definitely to their advantage.
So back deep to receive the second half kickoff, Hunt and Nettles for the Bulldogs. We'll get the second half underway here for Prattville Christian. And now officials are going to make them flip sides. So not lined up correctly. Someone chose the wrong end apparently. I'm going to try to get a reset here as we're located just along I-65. So if any of you travel from North Alabama down to Montgomery or further south, you probably pass right by the school just up the road from the Bass Pro Shops here in Prattville, located along Highway 14. Also back deep will be number 12 for JU Blacksher, but we don't have him on our roster, so we'll have to call him Ghost Man if he gets the football.
Just call him 12. Hopefully they don't kick it to him and he scores.
So we'll get the third quarter underway here on the Exterminatech Pest Control Game of the Week. And, of course, they're going to get a fair catch call for over here by number 21. That's going to be Nathan Cole. So the Bulldogs will take over on their own 25-yard line to get the second half underway.
And, of course, they were kicking it right to him.
So Mr. Cole stepped in front there to save us from not having a name to go with a number at that point. But we print the rosters off. I printed them off last night. I usually wait till Friday morning, but I was too busy today, so I printed them off last night. So maybe next week I'll wait till Friday morning and see if anybody's added in there. But first and 10 here for the Bulldogs. They're going to start on their own 25-yard line, and it's going to be Rabb in the backfield with Nettles. Play clock running down. I don't think they're aware of it.
Yeah, now this is something I don't understand. You come out of the locker room. How do you not have a play ready?
Yeah, and there's the head official throws the flag. That's usually not his call, but the back judge kind of gave that, raise the roof symbol there like they wanted to reset it, which I don't really understand why you would reset it,
But again,
yeah.
You're coming out of the locker room. You should have a set play no matter what hash, no matter what yard line. You shouldn't have to be looking over to your sideline to get a play and not be lined up or not come off the sideline not knowing what the play is. That just baffles me.
So first and 15. Rabb's going to roll the pocket to the left. Going to take off and run, has some room. Tripped up at the last second there as he crosses the 30-yard line. A nice play out there for PCA. Try to get a number. Who made that tackle? Yeah, 63 was the man who made the play there, but I don't have him on my roster either. So
he just saved a touchdown because if he doesn't grab the toe of the shoe, Rabb's gone again.
I don't feel so bad because the PA announcer didn't give a name
just stopped
either.
at number 63.
So second down and 5 here for the Bulldogs. Rab's going to throw this one over here. Nettles makes the grab, spins, breaks one tackle, and he's out across the 40 out to the 41. So it's going to be a gain of 11 and a first down here for the Bulldogs. That once again is presented by Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School of Montgomery. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 40-yard line.
That was just an odd formation. They were in trips, but the trips were spread out a good 5 to 7 yards between. And they threw to the wide, to the slot, and the two wide guys came in to try to block. You would think they would go wide and have the two slot receivers to block. I guess they're working on some things now.
So 1st and 10 at the 40. Rab's going to roll to the left this time, trying to throw back over here. Has a man down the middle of the field. Streaking was number 18 Spence, but he overthrows him. Bring up 2nd down as the clock stops with 10:40 left here in the 3rd quarter.
If he doesn't give up on that, he's still got it. He had the defender beat. He just gave up and stopped running about 3 or 4 yards away from the football. That would have been the 2nd touchdown of the night.
Yeah, it's similar play earlier in the first half. Spence caught one about 50-some yards out. And the clock is running here, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But anyway, the clock is moving with 10:22 and counting. So they did not stop the clock on the incomplete pass. So 2nd and 10 at the 40. Empty formation this time. Setting up a screen pass here over the middle to Spence. Has some blockers out in front of him, and this may go all the way. He splits the defenders. Now cuts it back to the left, and there's a flag coming in as Spence spins his way, still driving and carrying defenders down to the 15-yard line. That flag was way downfield in the area of holding, I believe.
Receiver down the field for J.U. Blacksher. Golden rule in football: when you're down the field or you're in the interior line and you hold, do not throw your hands up in the air because that's the first sign of being guilty when the official looks at you. And that's immediately what he did when his receiver cut back to try to make the turn. But a lot of that now, you've got to put some of that on Spence because Spence had the seam, but he cut back, and if he doesn't cut back, you don't get the holding call.
Yeah, he looked like he had the defender split and could just race to the goal line. Instead, he was cutting back to the left and back to the right. But play's going to gain about 25 in a first down since the holding was so far downfield. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the PCA 36. As this time, Hunt is in the backfield with Rab. And Rab's going to pull the handoff, cuts it back to the left, spins out. Carrying defenders with him. Finally tackled as he crosses the 30-yard line down to the 28. Gained about 8 on first down for the junior quarterback.
He's not quite as big as the guy that wore that jersey number down, I-85. But if you watch his mannerisms, the way he fakes, the way he carries himself on his runs, the way he throws the football, he's got that same look as Cam Newton did when he was at Auburn that 1 year. There's nobody in the backfield with you, but you put the ball out and you fake it, and then you just pop a pass over the middle.
And he's able to carry defenders with him time and time again here. 2nd down and 2. And this time he's going to pull the ball, go to the left side. He's going to have his first down. He's still driving those legs. He's got about 5 or 6 men around, and they're actually not going to game him on the ground. They're going to stand him up, and the play's blown dead at the 15-yard line. So it's a 13-yard gain and another first down for the Bulldogs, presented by Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School of Montgomery. As we're down to 8:40 left here in the 3rd quarter. But that's a play. They could call that all game and probably get 5-8 yards every time if they really wanted to.
I mean, that play's worked all night. Whenever he decides to tuck it and run, they haven't had an answer.
Nettles in the backfield this time with Rab. And Rab's going to take it to the right. Has some room. Racing, driving, down near the goal line. They're going to say he's in for the touchdown. So a 15-yard touchdown run for Rab, and it is now 33-0 in favor of J.U. Blacksher.
And you called that one another tuck and run. And, why put the ball in the air? Why hand it off? Just let Rab run it, and the clock's running anyway. Get out of here. No injuries. And if you're PCA, you know what they're doing. They're just running it right at you. You got to find a way to stop them right now.
So extra point attempt Let's see if they shift the line back. Dawson, the kicker, splits out here wide to the right as the cheerleaders below us are throwing footballs into the crowd. They have not had one made up here to our director, Tommy House, or Stephen Mock. They haven't reached their hands out and tried to catch one yet. So Dawson on for the extra point. Good snap and spot. Kick has plenty of leg on it, and it's good. So it is 34-0 with 8:10 left here in the third quarter in favor of JU Blacksher. We're going to take a quick timeout here as you're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Montgomery's new at-work station is 96.1 KISS FM. The biggest and best playlist and long sets of non-stop music. 96.1 KISS FM. Just the music you know and love. Montgomery's new at-work radio station.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
And welcome back here to Prattville Christian Academy. JU Blacksher on top 34-0 as Eccles and Lyle are back deep for the Panthers to receive the kickoff. Dawson to kick it off here for the Bulldogs. And Dawson's going to kick this one towards Lyle. He's going to let it hit. Is it going to go out of bounds? It does, so that'll be a penalty. A nice job by Lyle letting that roll out of bounds and being patient with it. So they'll mark it off, and PCA will get decent field position out of this with 8:10 left here in the third quarter. A couple other scores of note. An area game, or excuse me, a team in the region here with JU Blacksher. Chickasaw leading St. Luke's at halftime 21-14. So this is a team, JU Blacksher, we've seen be able to put points on the board with relative ease at times tonight. Defensively, they've swarmed to the football pretty good so far here against PCA.
They really have, and and it's that interior defensive line is, is clogging up the holes a little bit. They're a little bigger than the offensive line for PCA, but PCA can't really get past that second level. They get to the second level and everything stops even on those plus plays.
Rafe's going to get the handoff, trying to get outside, and there's been nothing happening for him that time as he is dragged quickly to the ground by number 7, Dion Hill for the Bulldogs.
And again, it's just the receiver's not engaging on the outside. That's the corner, and he's standing on that line of scrimmage, and nobody engages him, and his job is to contain, and you run right at him, so there is no contain.
Injured player for PCA walking off here, so we have a stoppage for the moment with 7:56 left in the third quarter. They'll bring up second down and about 12 for the Panthers. As they look to their wristbands for the play. Play clock still has 15 on it. Game clock moving again down to 7:40 and counting. This time Eccles in the backfield, Davis. Davis going to look to throw. Gets it on swing pass to Eccles. Eccles is met immediately, looks by Nettles. Maybe a gain of 1, and that's about it that time for the Panthers.
And I think Nettles was wanting to hit hard. I mean, it was just you leave your receiver open like that as a quarterback. And as a defender, you can't hit them until they turn because you don't want to get called for targeting. But as a quarterback, you can't leave your receiver just open to get hit like that.
So third down and 12 as the last play failed to gain. Again, Eccles stays in the backfield. Davis, 2 receivers to each side. Still 10 seconds on the play clock. Now Eccles flips to the left side. Man in motion. They're going to hand this off to Rafe. Rafe trying to get the corner. And a nice job by the Bulldog defense to string that out. And they'll bring up 4th down for PCA. As Rafe is slow to get up. Clock continues to move, 6:15 and counting. As Rab goes in back to receive the punt for the Bulldogs. And in to do the kicking for PCA is Ben Myers, senior punter. Myers' kick is away. It's going to roll away from Rab. Back inside of 30. Takes a great big roll. Rab's got to try to pick it up. Now he's going to fall on top of it. So it would have been down dead there anyway, rather he not jump on it. But nevertheless, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Hey, it's a coaching point. That's the second time that's happened tonight.
And 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks in a row that we've seen it happen multiple times.
So earlier, Nettles tried to pick one up there at the last second when the defender got on top of him. So both times the Bulldogs are able to recover the football with no harm. So it looks like we're going to have our 6-minute heat timeout here at 5:40 remaining. So we'll take a quick timeout with them. It's 34-0 in favor of JU Blacksher.
If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
And welcome back to the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. 5:40 left, third quarter. It is JU Blacksher on top 34-0. As they have 1st and 10 on their own 28-yard line. There's going to be a handoff this time. And there's a flag on the play. As Nettles moves forward out to about the 35-yard line that time for the Bulldogs.
I think they're going to get Nicholas Andrews on that interior line. No, they're going to call face mask. I thought they were going to call holding on JU Blacksher. I think I just saw the referee signal it was going to be a face mask against PCA. That's what it is. And that's just one of those when you got your guy running up the middle, you got a bunch of arms flailing around and you hit the face mask. Well, obviously they saw the face mask move, so they're going to call a penalty.
So 5 yards. It'll be a 1st down for the Bulldogs as they are out to their own 40-yard line as we have 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 2 receivers to each side this time. 2 big receivers over here, Tucker and Quarles to the bottom of our screen. But Nettles is going to get the handoff, cut it back to the right. Moves out towards midfield, and he might have another 1st down. They're going to move the chains again, so that 1st down brought you by Mission Fitness and Performance, Parisi Speed School of Montgomery. Another 1st down for JU Blacksher.
Mark it right at the 50. Looked like he may have gotten over the 50 a little bit, but nonetheless, JU Blacksher came out first few plays, second half. Pass, they threw about 3 or 4 passes in a row. Now they've settled in and are really running the football, and they keep the clock running.
So 1st and 10, Nettles in the backfield with Rab. The sophomore running back, the junior quarterback for the Bulldogs. 4-man front for PCA. This time Rab pulls it left, then cuts right. Just bouncing off defenders, still driving inside the 30. He's down to the 25-yard line. 25-yard gain and another 1st down for JU Blacksher.
I mean, simple run play, quarterback draw. That time he faked the pocket to Nettles, waited on everybody to converge, and just took off and then lowers his head and until they stop it. If I'm JU Blacksher, this last 16 minutes of this game, I'm just going to keep running. That's a long 2.5-hour ride. You still got to go home.
And I'm impressed they brought coach buses up here for the band and the team. That's a good job by them. I've been on some yellow bus rides.
Oh, there's some trips that you get on one of those school buses and it takes forever.
They're going to run a little quick pitch out here. Nevels this time is dropped quickly by the PCA defense. A nice play that time by number 22, Kenny Gunnell, making the tackle for the Panthers.
And he read that play from the get-go. He was lined up inside, and when they shifted Nettles out, he went with Nettles, and it was one-on-one on the outside, and he made the tackle.
It's a good open field play there as we got 3.5 minutes left. That play lost 2 yards there, so it'll be 2nd and 12 back at about the 27-yard line. Again, this time Hunt in the backfield with Rab. And Hunt gets the handoff, coming around right tackle. Inside the 20. Down close to another first down at the 15-yard line. It's going to depend on the spot. In fact, they're going to stop the clock. Looks like he is going to have another first down. That's presented by Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School of Montgomery. So 1st and 10 at the 15 for the Bulldogs as we're under 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. This time Rab pulls it. PCA's defense is all over it, but Rab breaks the tackle, cuts it back, and he's in for another touchdown from 15 yards out to make the score 40-0 in favor of the Bulldogs.
And we've said it time and time again this half. Why take the ball out of his hands? I know you don't want to get him hurt, but at the same time, they can't stop him, and he's able to eat clock and eat up yardage, so I would just keep it in his hand for a while.
So a 15-yard touchdown run for the junior quarterback, and it is 40-0 in favor of JU Blacksher. And this time, our producer Stephen Mock got his hand out there trying to catch some footballs. Dawson on for the extra point. The kick is true again, and it's 41-0 in favor of JU Blacksher. So I'm going to tattle on Steven and Tommy. If that was a foul ball coming screeching in here, they wouldn't be reaching their hands out the window like at the Biscuits game. But these little soft footballs, they're trying to catch them out here. So
yeah, well, you're not in purple and gold. I don't think you're going to get one tonight.
So 41-0 in favor of JU Blacksher. A couple other scores. Opelika now leading, Auburn now leading 7-3 Opelika in the third quarter over in Lee County. A game we were talking about at halftime. Prattville up 35-0 on Stanhope Elmore in the third quarter. Downtown from here is Stanley Jensen Stadium. So a lot of rivalry games early in the season for large schools. Haven't seen a lead in Lanier score tonight yet. But for PCA and for JU Blacksher, really the second season gets started next week as both these teams are going to end up moving into region play. With JU Blacksher, they'll actually travel to Cottage Hill Christian Academy, and PCA will travel to Pike Road next week for their game.
Got some changes now on the field for JU Blacksher as they line up some new guys on the field, and that's your player you talked about, number 12. I would soon say that he's probably a middle school player because they're instructing him on what to do on this kickoff team. So this is where you're going to see a lot of young guys coming in, a lot of guys that may not be on the roster. They just pulled up to bring on the trip because it was a non-region game. This is when the game will get fun a little bit to see the next generation coming through.
So Dawson going to kick this one off, and it's going to hit and go out of bounds at the last second. So they'll move this football up here.
The best thing about that play, I think Dawson he's having to put his tee back together. He kicked it, and his tee went in two different directions, and the ball went straight down the middle. I saw something rolling down the field, and then another piece went the other way, and then I looked up and saw the football going.
Yeah, he didn't get his leg into that one. That was his shortest kick of the night. It went out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. He's been getting down to around the 10 to 15-yard line most of the night. So the ball will be spotted at the 35-yard line for PCA. 2:40 left third quarter. Let's see if the Panthers can get something going on offense here. As again, number 5, Davis stays in a quarterback. Has Eccles back there, and looks like Lyle with him in the formation.
Not real sure what we were waiting on, but the referee has his microphone on while he blows the whistle.
Here's a toss to the near side. Look like they're going to try reverse. They fake it. And then spinning out of bounds here. That's going to be a flag on J.U. Blacksher as the defender carrying him out of bounds. So it'll be a dead ball personal foul on the Bulldogs as number 8, Matthew Lyle, was on the carry and picked up a couple yards there on the sweep.
I will say this, the play was still going. He was still on the grass, the field side of the hash marks when the whistle blew. And then they carried him out of bounds. So the whistle came early, and the guys were still finishing the play off because he's in bounds. I don't know quite what happened in that situation, but nonetheless, PCA is going to take full advantage of it. They're going to move across the 50 again.
So 15 yards and a first down for PCA as they are in Bulldog territory at the 46-yard line. This time, Andrew Rafe in the backfield behind Davis. Rafe gets the handoff, and nothing happening there as he is quickly dropped by Dorian Quarles for J.U. Blacksher. Play's going to lose a yard or two on the play. And now we have a stoppage of the whistle. I think maybe a timeout taken by PCA.
Timeout called by PCA.
PCA is taking a timeout, so we'll take a quick one with them. 2:17 left, third quarter. It's 41-0 in favor of J.U. Blacksher.
Extermitech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermitech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermitech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermitech 334-209-4590. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
So a timeout taken by Coach Carter and the staff. So bring up second down and 12 for PCA. 2:17 left, third quarter. Get Rafe in the backfield. Gets the handoff, cuts it near side here as he changes football. Across the 40, runs over a defender as he goes out of bounds near the first down marker. So a nice run for Andrew Rafe, the senior running back and defensive back. Picked up that 11 yards and third down and 1.
And this is the point in the game if you're Coach Carter over there for PCA. You have that situation you had. Do I keep my guys in late down 41-0? Do I keep them in as the first game of the year? I keep them in. I mean, that's the only way they're going to get any better.
And offside, free 5 yards there, and another first down for PCA that is presented by Mission Fitness and Performance, Parisi Speed School of Montgomery, sponsoring our first downs tonight as PCA will march down to the 32-yard line of J.U. Blacksher with 2:07 left here, third quarter. Again, Rafe stays in the backfield here. Davis gives instructions to Eccles as Lyle moves to the other side of the formation. Rafe's going to try the right side this time. Across the 30, he's loose. Going down the right sideline, he's going to take it in for the 31-yard touchdown, and PCA's on the board.
And again, you leave your starters in for a while, no matter, in your mind, the game may be out of hand on the scoreboard, but you've got to give these kids some confidence going into next week. What better way to do that than just keep them in the game and run the same offense that you would run anyway?
So Andrew Rafe, 31-yard touchdown, and PCA's on the board. It looks like they're going to attempt to kick the extra point here. As number 8, Matthew Lyle is going to attempt to kick. Snap and spot. Kicks up, plenty of distance. And it's good. So our new score with 2 minutes left third quarter, actually 1:59 left third quarter, it is JU Blacksher 41 and Prattville Christian Academy 7. So PCA gets on the board there, but a nice drive for the Panthers as they take it 65 yards on the scoring drive and get on the scoreboard for the first time tonight.
Couple off-tackle plays, one left, one right. Good blocking from that offensive line, good blocking from the receivers downfield. We've been talking all night about the receivers need to stay engaged with the defensive backs. They did that time on the 2 running plays, and that's going to free some things up. Again, Prattville Christian, first-year head coach, new coaching staff. The kids are trying to get used to that staff. The staff's trying to get used to the kids. The play calling may be a little different now that you've been on the game field. And again, JU Blacksher played last week, so they've got that advantage of playing 48 minutes of real football is what we'll call it. The Jamboree is basically a place you can work on some things. You play a half against somebody, half against somebody else. But JU Blacksher was able to put that total game, in their back pocket coming into today. And I think that has a lot to do with what's happening right now.
So PCA gets on the board. They'll get ready to kick it off here. As again, it looks like Lyle will do the kicking for the Panthers. And back deep. Looks like Nettles and Heffington at number 12 for the Bulldogs. Wow, skies this on the far side there. No fair catch call for. The ball's loose on the ground, and PCA looks like they recovered it. It is PCA football on the far side. Couldn't catch who recovered the football, but it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Bulldog 42-yard line.
And that's one of the major things you get talk on the kickoff team. As a frontline guy, you don't fade back to catch a kickoff, and that's exactly what happened. One of the frontline guys, an offensive lineman, faded back to catch the football instead of one of the upbacks coming up to catch it. But here's going to be the interesting thing. The T's still sitting out at the 40-yard line for PCA. Nobody's went out there to go get it yet.
So 1st and 10, a good eye there. So 1st and 10 at the 42. Rafe behind Davis in the backfield. Rafe's going to try the left side. Can he get outside? He gives one stiff arm, but he's going to be wrapped up and dropped for a loss back here at the 44-yard line. Nice tackle by number 7, Dion Hill, for the Bulldogs.
They tried to stretch it that time, and unlucky. But here's my question. I want to know how you're going to call that play if there's a turnover and a tackle by the T at the 40 if they start running back the other way. That's on you. I want to see how you call that one. I've never had that happen before.
Yeah, nobody came out there and got it. It's all lost in the jubilation of recovering the fumbled kickoff. 2nd down and 12. Again, Rafe will stay in the backfield. Eccles off to the right in the blocking position. Here comes a blitz. Davis going to look to throw. He's under heavy pressure. Going to be dropped back here for a loss on the play. Going to lose about 8-10 yards there as the players have exchanged some words. Hunt on the sack for JU Blacksher and bring up 3rd down and long.
And the blitz came, and it wasn't even the defender that blitzed that made the tackle. It was the linebacker that was the contained man that ended up making that stop. But, at this point in the game, you just play football. You just got to get up, line up, and helmet on helmet and play. You're going into the 4th quarter.
3rd and 20. Down to 30 seconds of the clock moving here in the 3rd quarter. As you hear the JU Blacksher band below us to our left. Play clock has 8 seconds on it. 3 receivers to the far side. And Davis is in some trouble in the backfield, and he can't get to the sideline. It'll bring up 4th down as the clock continues to move, and that's going to take us to 0-0 here at the end of 3rd quarter, where our new score at the end of 3 is JU Blacksher 41, Prattville Christian Academy 7. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe, located on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. From our great lunch selection and value to our tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something to offer all connoisseurs of fine Mexican dining. Come on down today and enjoy some great Mexican. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown. Extermitech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermitech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermitech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermitech 334-209-4590.
And welcome back to Prattville Christian Academy, where JU Blacksher leads at 41-7 here on the Extermitech Pest Control Game of the Week. 4th down for the Panthers here, as it looks like they may just go for it. It's about 4th down and 22-23 here.
You're in that situation now. You might as well. You don't really have anything to lose if you do go for it, and they've put some. JU Blackshear's put a bunch of their offensive guys out there on defense now, including Rapp.
Davis directing traffic. Play clock still has 10 seconds on it. He's going to look to put it up. He's throwing over here over the middle, and nobody's home, and it's going to go incomplete. Knocked away there by Nettles, but it way overshot the receiver, so it'll be a change of possession and 1st and 10 for JU Blackshear at about the PCA 45.
It'll be interesting to see now with JU Blackshear any changes on offense. You saw some of them on defense. Put some of their offensive guys out, skill players, but put them back in that defensive backfield. They're going to make a change now, it looks like. New quarterback in the game for JU Blackshear. So we'll see if they keep the same scheme offensively.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs on the PCA 45. And it looks like the new quarterback is going to be number 3, Lathan Owens, for the Bulldogs. And the play clock's about to run out, and they're going to take a timeout. So timeout taken by JU Blackshear. 7 seconds into the 4th quarter. We'll keep it right here. So next week, PCA will travel to Pike Road, and JU Blackshear will travel to Cottage Hill. And here on the Montgomery Sports Network, next week we will be back in Montgomery as ACA, Alabama Christian Academy, will play host to Trinity on week 3 here. So you can watch us next week starting at 6:30 from out along Wares Ferry Road. We had that game last year. It was a very close contest. The Trinity ended up pulling out at home, and we expect the inter-city rivalry between the two schools, longtime rivals in the private school sector. We expect a close contest next Friday night.
You usually have a close contest, especially those two. The big key, though, is going to be the weather throughout the week with the east coast of Florida about to be affected, and which way does it go after that when the hurricane makes landfall? Does it dump a lot of rain here, or does it just skirt by?
So 1st and 10. And a quarterback, Owens, is loose into the second level, racing to the right sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5, and he's in for a touchdown on his first carry from 45 yards out. So the 10th grader, the sophomore, gets his opportunity and takes the 45 yards to the house.
And the first person to go congratulate him, the first person jumping down on the up and down on the sideline is the starting quarterback.
So 47-7 in favor of JU Blackshear, as Dawson will come in to attempt the extra point.
How about this one for you? So he just takes it 45 yards for a touchdown. Now he's about to snap for the extra point.
It's pretty good. Won't find a lot of players at any level that are able to do that. Good snap and spot. Plenty of leg on that one for Dawson. And it's good, and he is 6 for 7 on the night. So our new score is 48-7 in favor of JU Blackshear. So offense, defense, special teams, JU Blackshear looking pretty good this evening. As we said just a moment ago, next week we'll have Alabama Christian Academy playing host to Trinity. In 2 weeks, we'll be back at Catholic for ACA taking on Catholic on Friday, September 13th. And then Friday, September 20th, we'll make our way up Highway 111 to Holtville as they will play host to Elmore County. So we got a lot of rivalry games coming up the next few weeks here on the Montgomery Sports Network. You can follow us at mymgmsports.com. You can search us out at YouTube, Montgomery Sports Network. All our games are archived there. You can go to Facebook and like us on that page and get updates also on Twitter. So we got 3 or 4 weeks of rivalry games coming up. Also Prattville with Tump on the 27th. So the next 4 weeks, we take some high-stakes, close games here that we should be covering.
And those are going to be some really, really good games. And not just because they're rivalry games, but the teams that are in them are really good.
We had Montgomery Catholic last week. They were number 6, moved up to number 4 this week in the 4A state rankings. So they are a force to reckon with right now. They're on the road at Anniston tonight in a tough contest up there. As Dawson will tee it up. Gets this one deep. No one's going back to get it. And fortunately for PCA, it's going to roll into the end zone and be a touchback. So the Panthers will start out 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
You're in the point of the game now. If you're these two teams, for JU Blacksher, you're watching the clock, just wanting to get out of here with no injuries and get this game over with as quickly as possible to get back on the road and get home. And if you're Prattville Christian, you still want to work on some things, but now we talked about keeping the starters in. But now with that last score by JU Blacksher late here in the fourth. In this game in the fourth quarter. Now you got to maybe think about making some changes here or there.
So Eccles in the backfield here at running back for PCA. Be 1st and 10. He's going to try the left side. Nothing happened there as that defensive line, big number 77, Jerry Golden Jr., an 8th grader, making the play for Blacksher.
A lot of young kids for JU Blacksher. You start looking down the roster, thinking you're going to see a lot of seniors. There's a smattering of seniors, but a lot of sophomores, juniors, freshmen, 8th graders on this team.
Yeah, wide variety of players. You see this at the small school level, some 7th and 8th graders will get on the rosters and have to play from time to time. They're getting the opportunity here tonight and making the most of it. Davis still a quarterback for PCA. Going to throw a quick pass out here. And nice run there that time. Looked like Rafe on the reception. He's slow to get up.
That stiff arm he's used, that's 3 plays he's used that stiff arm and has been drugged down and slammed down on the ground. And as much as he likes to use that stiff arm, he's putting either that arm on the left side or that right hip, which that's what he's getting up now, that right hip, in danger because they're using his momentum with that stiff arm just to pull him backwards. And that's, you got to develop a spin or, a quick first step. You can't use a stiff arm every time you get to the outside on somebody.
So 3rd and 1, Davis under center, maybe a quarterback sneak. That's what it is. He's going to have the first down, it appears, as he goes out, falls forward out to the 33. So another first down for PCA that's presented by Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School of Montgomery with 10:05 and the clock moving here in the fourth quarter.
Looked like he had a little problem with that snap, too. I don't know if he bobbled it maybe or if it just came up on him, but that generally happens when you are a spread offense and you go under center for one play. I've seen teams that have done that, and the center's actually snapped it past the quarterback under center because he's used to him being in the spread.
Yeah, you get to the point where teams almost have to take a shotgun snap to take a knee in some cases. Play clock running down here. They're going to have to hurry up to get it off. They do. And Davis is going to keep it himself. Has some room across the 40. Running down the right sideline. Still on the move in the 40. He may take it all the way. 20, 15. Hesitates for a second. Knocked out of bounds at about the 10-yard line as a touchdown saving tackle by number 14, Justin Heffington, for JU Blacksher.
Good read that time as he faked the play fake in the backfield, read to see where the defense went. And that's one of those hesitations where you just hold the football out. You're not going to give it to anybody, but you see which way the defense shifts, and then you just pick a hole and go, and he saw the open on the right side.
So 1st and 10 actually first and goal. Ball resting just inside the 10-yard line for PCA as we're about to go under 9 minutes left in this contest. Longest run of the night, longest play from scrimmage of the night for PCA there on that 50-yard run by Davis. Eccles stays in the backfield with Davis. Play clock still has 15 on it. Davis is going to hesitate. Now he's going to try to cut it up and work his way for a couple yards down to about the 6-yard line there on first down.
And that's been the best play for either team. We've seen J.U. Blacksher use it all night with Rabbit quarterbacking. Now Davis is using it with PCA, and that's just, it keeps the defense off balance because all you're doing is watching and reading the defense. You're really not committing until the defense commits to where they're going.
So 8-15 and counting as PCA has second and goal from the 6-yard line. And this time it's going to be Eccles trying to get the corner. He's not going to do it. He dropped for no gain, maybe a loss of 1 on the play to bring up third down for PCA.
So now you've got the wide side of the field again to the right, which is where we just saw the long run by Davis. Be interesting to see if PCA calls the same play to the right side again.
So third down and goal from about the 7. Clock continues to move as we approach the 7.5-minute mark. Lyle in the backfield behind Davis. Lyle's going to get it, try the right side. He's loose. He's across the goal line in the end zone and a touchdown for PCA.
So not quite the same quarterback run, but you go to the wide side of the field again on the right side and able to get in.
So Lyle takes it in from 7 yards out, and our score is now 48-13. It looks like PCA is going to attempt to kick the extra point once again, as Lyle is also the kicker for the Panthers. He's ready. Snap and spot. Kick is up. And it is good. So our new score, 7:20 left. It is 48-14 in favor of J.U. Blacksher. We're going to take a quick timeout. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network. And welcome back to the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week, where Matthew Lyle just scored from 7 yards out on the touchdown run. Also kicked the extra point to make our score 48-14 in favor of J.U. Blacksher. And Lyle will get ready to kick it off again for PCA. Last time he had that little pooch kick that they were able to recover.
And they faked the onside kick and then stepped back and then did the pooch kick, and not quite this time.
And this one's going to go out of bounds, and J.U. Blacksher will retain possession. So final score from Stanley Jensen Stadium: Prattville 42, Stanhope Elmore nothing. So a convincing win for Prattville, trying to reestablish themselves as one of the premier programs. Caleb Ross in his second year there, getting things rolling again for the Lions. Auburn leads Opelika 13-7 in the third quarter. They missed an extra point earlier, so close game over there in Lee County between those longtime rivals, 6A, 7A schools. As Owens will stay in a quarterback here for J.U. Blacksher, along with Hunt in the backfield. Owen's going to take it to the right and move forward across the 35 to the 38 for a gain of 3 on first down. And the clock starts to move as we approach the 7-minute mark in this contest.
A lot of backups playing now for both teams. So, these last 7 minutes, you're going to see a lot of fresh faces.
2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs at their own 38. Owens stays in the shotgun. Hunt lined up off to his right. Hunt's going to get the carry, trying to follow his blocker. He's very patient. He breaks free across the 50. Still loose, down to 30. It's a foot race. 20, cuts it back to the 10. 5, and touchdown. 62-yard touchdown run for Hunt. And it is now 54-14 in favor of J.U. Blacksher.
And another big running play. We talk about it, and we've talked about it all night. It's just one of those things. But behind the play, a PCA defensive lineman, comes up hobbled. But the coaching staff for J.U. Blacksher jumps out on the field. And that's what high school football is about. It's about the education and the sportsmanship. But again, that run, they've been doing it all night. PCA just hasn't had an answer.
Yeah, very patient running that time by Hunt. He stayed behind the pulling guard. And next thing you know, was able to bust loose for him out here in the second level. As Dawson back in to attempt another extra point with 6:31 remaining. And now we have a whistle by the side official.
So you talk about that Wetumpka team. They're playing the Dothan, the new Dothan school. And the new Dothan school has started to flex their muscles a little bit in the state, as they are up by 3 scores over Wetumpka right now.
Wow. Back-to-back road trips for Wetumpka. They were down at Fairhope last week. Then they had to make the long drive down to Dothan. I want to say Wetumpka maybe played Northview or just Dothan High School last year in this week. And now they're obviously getting both of them at the same time. But Smitty Grider, he's a good coach. He's going to get it rolling down there. They played up in Alabaster last week in the kickoff class. They struggled a little bit up there. But, down the road, when they get things rolling there, they'll be one of the premier teams in that area of the state.
Oh, you got all the Dothan kids now in one high school. You have you have really no choice other than to be good.
Yeah. So our new score, 55-14, as Dawson nails the extra point. He is now 7 of 8 on the evening on the extra points. 6:31 remaining. And, we still have halfway to go here in the fourth quarter. Still don't even have our heat timeout yet. As Dawson will also do the kickoff chores for J.U. Blacksher. Next week, once again, we'll be down in Montgomery. Alabama Christian Academy playing host to Trinity. That'll be a region game. The week after that will be at Catholic, as they'll play host to Alabama Christian Academy. So we'll hop into region play the next few weeks and then move up, stay in the 4A level, but a different region when Elmore County visits Holtville in a couple weeks up on Highway 111 up in Slapout, home of Stephen Mock. One of our workers here for the Montgomery Sports Network kick us away, taking and it's bobbled down inside the 10-yard line. That's trouble for PCA. And unfortunately for the Panthers, they're going to be starting back at about their own 15-yard line. As the ball comes loose after the fact, but he was poor progress was stopped.
And this is almost you just want the clock to start running now for both of these teams with the backups out on the field, no heat time out yet, and just to get, you don't want anybody hurt.
No.
That's the big thing.
And my mom is keeping my little girls tonight, and I told her, I said, oh yeah, I'll be home before my wife. She's at the Prattville Stanhope game. I said, I'll be home well before her. That's not going to happen apparently, so, unless she's stuck in the parking lot down there, Stanley Jensen. But nevertheless, 6:14 left, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. They're going to start out on their own 15-yard line. Looks like Davis is going to stay in a quarterback. He has Lyle back there with Eccles still at the running back position. And Davis keeps it left side. Stutter steps for a second. Picks up positive yardage across
the 15 to about the 17-yard line for a gain of 2 or 3 on the play. Bring up second down. And now we're going to have our heat timeout with 5:58 left. So we will take a quick timeout. Nope, we're going to stay with it, looks like. So 5:58 remaining, heat timeout, with which we have mandated here by the state through the first few weeks of the season, although at this point cramps don't seem to be an issue at all. But each team's subbing a lot of players in and out here.
And you got a nice little breeze blowing through. You can feel the breeze every now and then where we are sitting up here by the windows. And so obviously, you know, the guys on the field are feeling it. And with the quick pace of the game and not very many sustained drives, you're not going to have a whole lot of cramps.
So when we return to action, it'll be second down and about 3. Second down and 3 for PCA. Next week, the Panthers, as they get in the region play, looking down the road for Prattville Christian Academy. They will play at Pike Road, and then they get Beulah here, and then they get Montgomery Academy, and then Billingsley in the non-region game. So they go on the road next week to Pike Road. That game is scheduled for John Mark Stallings Stadium at Faulkner University. Then they get 3 straight at home here. For JU Blacksher, they go to Cottage Hill, and then they get Choctaw County and Southern Choctaw at home in back-to-back weeks in region play. So an opportunity potentially for them to get out in front here with this offense clicking the way it has been. Here's a handoff on the left side. It's going to be Eccles close to the 20-yard line. Should bring up third down and short. Clock continues to move 5.5 and counting now here in this contest.
And that's the play JU Blackshear's defense makes. They keep him in bounds and keep the clock running. That play was meant to stretch to the sideline and maybe run out of bounds, but JU Blackshear keeps him in. I mean, it's not like PCA. You can put 35 points on the board here in 5 minutes against this defense, but that's a lesson you get for later in the year.
Third down and 1. Under center again, Davis. The quarterback sneaked it last time. He's going to try to do the same. He hesitates, though, for a second, spins out of it, falls forward across the 20, and they're going to give it to him, so he got on the spot. So it's another first down. Presented by Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School of Montgomery. So clock stopped exactly 5 minutes left as they wind it back in. So first and 10 to the 20. Davis stays back there in the backfield with Eccles. And this time it looks like number 22 is back there. That is Gunn. And Gunn almost took the direct snap, it looked like. Falls forward for about a yard.
I'll say this, you know, we talked last week and we talked again this week about the 40-second play clock. The good thing about a 40-second play clock is the ball gets put down right as soon as the last play's over. The clock starts to run. So teams start milking that play clock a little bit. Instead of the 25, you don't have to run as many plays. You can actually run twice as many, even though there's just a little bit of difference. It's not really 50 seconds, but it gives you a chance to run a couple of plays, milk the clock, get it down, and you'll see teams kill the clock now when teams are out of timeouts very quickly.
The second down and 9. This time Davis keeps it. Has some room across the 25. Drop there at the 26-yard line. Bring up third down and about 4 for PCA as we're down to 3.5 minutes and counting here in this contest. So third down and 5, we'll call it officially, as Gunn stays in the backfield with Davis. Davis going to look to throw. And he's dropped behind the line, sacked way back there. Nice tackle that time by number 32, Timothy Stabler for JU Blackshear, and his 4th down.
And JU Blackshear still, even with their backups, are still bringing pressure on that PCA offense. And you could hear that J.U. Blacksher band and just kept repeating the same song. I was watching the band director miss 2 plays. He was actually kept telling them to sing that they weren't going to stop playing unless the guy's not playing or girl's not playing instruments started to sing.
So kick is away, and our ghost man back there, number 12, is going to pick it up. Come near side. Oh, my goodness. He's got some room over here. Across the 40. A nice open field tackle there for PCA. That's going to be number 11 making the play, Nicholas Stevenson. At about the 35-yard line, so clock is stopped momentarily. 2:13 remaining. It's 55-14 in favor of J.U. Blacksher.
So Javion Tucker, the wide receiver defensive back for J.U. Blacksher, stands down here opposite side of the field at the 35. He's talking to somebody in the booth and has been for the last drive. So I don't know if he's having a hand in calling plays right now.
So he's over here at our far right. As Owens will stay a quarterback. And number 12 is going to be a running back for Blacksher. Running players around here. Play clock's at 8. Now they get lined up. The ball rolls back through the legs, and a smart play by number 12 to hop on top of the football. Play's going to lose about 9, but the clock continues to move as we're down to 2 minutes and counting in this contest. Once again, you're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here at Prattville Christian Academy, trailing J.U. Blacksher 55-14. Next week we'll be in Montgomery as Alabama Christian Academy will play host to the Wildcats of Trinity. Owens hands off to number 12, tries to get outside, gets the corner, and lowers the shoulder and spins his way inside the 35 down to about the 32. Clock continues to run as we're down to 1:20 and counting. So 3rd down and 8 for J.U. Blacksher. Handoff again, number 12, trying to get to the outside, being chased down this time. And a nice tackle that time for PCA number 1, Brooks Blues, making the play. Bring up 4th down. And they have to snap it one more time. There's about a 10-second differential between the game clock and the play clock for J.U. Blacksher. So 65 points last week, 55 points this week. Averaging 60 over 2 games, pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive, and to see it up close is even more impressive. You know, we had questions because they played McIntosh last week, but getting to see the athletes they have on that offensive side of the football, you know why they can score.
Owens keeps it, spinning, dropped at the 28-yard line. He's going to be short of the 1st down as the clock stops with 17 seconds left, and PCA will take over and get one more chance here on offense.
I'd like to have seen them milk a little more time off that play clock.
Yeah.
And maybe run around in the backfield. I think if you run around in the backfield, you know, you don't even have to run another play.
So PCA comes out, and next week they go on the road to Pike Road, as I said several times already, but that'll be a region game and a chance to get a fresh start for Coach Carter as they get in the region play against Pike Road. And PCA is going to take a timeout, maybe. Having trouble getting players lined up. Maybe trying to get a couple guys into the game that have not been in already. So officially a timeout. We'll keep it right here. But once again, you can follow us at our website, mymgmsports.com. You can go there, go on our Facebook page, like us there. You can go follow us on Instagram and Twitter at mymgmsports. All of our games are archived there. Last week's game between Tallahassee and Catholics online on YouTube. You can watch last year's games. We had a lot of close games. Wetumpka, Stanhope, Elmore, Trinity, and Alabama Christian. So you can find all those games there online, Montgomery Academy and Trinity. So look us up there. We appreciate you staying with us tonight here, watching us, whether it's online at our website or on YouTube. And next week will be Join us at 6:30 as Alabama Christian Academy will play host to Trinity, two longtime rivals meeting over on Wares Ferry Road, and what should be a very hotly contested game. As PCA has at least one more snap in them. They're going to hand this off, and some running room there for number 22 on the carry is going to be Gunn. Picks up about 10 yards. And the head official's going to let it run out. No, they're going to stop it and move the tail. We got some players.
Two of the younger guys got into it. And one of the offensive linemen, I think one of the upperclassmen from PCA goes and grabs his receiver. And, you had an official right there. He threw a flag. And we saw it. We talked about it earlier in the first half. They talked to the two captains, but with 8 seconds left to go in the game and the game is over, it's just one of those things. You just got to let things go and just be done with the game.
Dead ball, personal foul on both teams, offsetting. And even the JU Blacksher coach was like, hey, let's just start the clock and let's go. So they got a 2.5-hour bus ride back to South Alabama. So the clock hits 000 here at PCA. Our final score tonight, JU Blacksher goes to 2-0 with a 55-14 victory over Prattville Christian Academy. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back to wrap things up here. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
And welcome back to PCA, where JU Blacksher moves to 2-0 with a 55-14 victory over Prattville Christian Academy. PCA falls to 0-1 on the season, and both teams get ready to go into region play next week. Wrap things up here, Travis. Very impressive performance by JU Blacksher. That offense was as advertised.
No question about it. It all starts under center with a quarterback, and he really makes things go for JU Blacksher. Then you've got skill players that he's able to get the football out to, and PCA just couldn't match the speed and the strength tonight of JU Blacksher, and that's just something they're going to have to overcome because they're going to see that later down the road.
So very impressive performance by JU Blacksher. Next week they will play on the road at Cottage Hill. PCA will take it on the road for a region game against Pike Road down in Montgomery. So we'll get ready to thank our sponsors once again. Our title sponsor, we'd like to thank Extermatech Pest Control, the locally owned and operated Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team voted best in Montgomery. If you have bugs bugging you, call Extermatech. Call 334-209-4590. We'd also like to thank attorney Matt Matthews of ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com. Workers' compensation attorney Matt Matthews has many years of experience litigating workers' compensation cases. If you need to get the benefits you deserve, visit ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com or call 334-721-4878. We'd also like to thank Mission Fitness and Performance, Parisi Speed School of Montgomery, athletes and coaching staff. If you want your team to train with the best sports performance program in an area, please call missionfit.com at 334. Visit missionfit.com or call 334-318-3639. We'd also like to thank the Hank Williams Museum in downtown Montgomery. This museum is located at 118 Commerce Street, where you can learn about the life and history of a Montgomery man who is known as the legendary singer and songwriter Hank Williams. Browse the large gift shop. Groups are always welcome at the Hank Williams Museum. We'd also like to thank Chris's Hot Dogs, celebrating their 102nd year in business in the capital city, located just down the street from the state capitol at 138 Dexter Avenue. Call Chris's for orders in advance, 334-265-6850. And here's Travis with the rest of our sponsors.
Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks is a local owned and operated business. They've been in business since 1985 and serve Montgomery and the surrounding counties. Mid-State builds and installs burglar bars AC guards, hand railings, fencing, storm doors, and more. Make sure to check out the decorative handrails, a true work of art. Call Mid-State 334-313-9015. La Zona Rosa Mexican Cafe, located at 2838 Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. Check out their great build your own lunch and dinner selections and updated menus. Make La Zona Rosa your choice for authentic Tex-Mex and Salvadorian cuisine. Open Monday through Saturday. Call 334-274-1153. Delta Printing and Sign Company. Open in 1979 and is still local and family owned as a second-generation business. They have stayed true to their roots. They get to know their customers and take pride in helping meet their printing needs and stay within their budget. Their goal is the same now as it was when they first opened, to provide a quality product at a competitive price. A company with an exceptional customer service. So remember, no matter what it is, when you need signs, printing, direct mail, let Delta do it. Call 334-271-COPY. And our media partner, the stations of Blue Water Broadcasting, News Talk 93.1, Kiss FM 97.9 Jams, Bama Country 98.9, Yo 100.5, Classic Country The Possum, 104.9 The Gump, and 107.1 The Vault. They're local folks helping local business. Call them today and let them help your business. 334-244-0961.
And don't forget about Mac the Camera Guy photo booths. Visit MacTheCameraGuy.com for all your photo booth needs for proms, weddings, business functions. He will help you out. MacTheCameraGuy.com. So join us next week. We will be in Montgomery, Alabama Christian Academy, playing host to Trinity. That will be 6:30 next Friday night here on the Montgomery Sports Network, mymgmsports.com. For our executive producer, Stephanie House, our director is Tommy House, our technical director and replay operator is Stephen Mock. On camera, we had Nathaniel McCall this evening, and in the booth, Travis Jerome on color commentary, along with myself, Kane Young. We are signing off from Prattville Christian Academy, where once again our final score tonight, JU Blacksher 55, Prattville Christian Academy 14. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.